Alright, first thing I want people to do, at least you mage type people. On the right hand side, under library, click on modules. And then when that little window opens up, go to activation.
I'm still looking for modules.
It's under where it says the word library. Click on the arrow. It opens up a little thing with two. It says modules and assets, maybe.
Gotcha. Modules.
Then click on activation. And you are looking for Pathfinder 2 RPG Secrets of Magic. Go ahead and click on the book and open that up.
I hit load. It opened the book.
Yeah.
I'm clicking in it.
Do we just load everything that we have access to?
Well, it takes a minute ish.
But there's another secret of spells in there too for me.
No, let's leave that one alone.
I wonder how many instances of this have I opened.
Spam clicking it. It's not working.
You said load secrets of spells or secrets of magic?
I said Secrets of Magic. I didn't say nothing about spells.
The book. Well, if you put it in front of us, we're going to click the button. You know that, right?
Well, I know, but that's going to go away once we have this loaded, because this is the actual product. So all the spells that I was loading with the other modules and stuff and editing will now be in the general stuff.
I'm doing a math test. I was only half paying attention.
What does that have to do with the math test?
So I was asking for clarification because I'd only half heard what you were saying.
I understand. I'm saying, but you don't pay attention when you're not doing a math test. So what's the difference?
Time to put the math test away. We're playing some Pathfinder.
Yeah, you can. Pathfinder is the one that gets benched if I have to bench one of the two of them.
That sounds like excuses to me.
One of the two what?
Math or Pathfinder?
What about Mathfinder?
Mathfinder.
Fuck you, I win.
I mean, isn't that just D&D?
It's the old school D&D when you had to actually do some math to play, but now you don't.
To find out.
That goes too difficult for people to figure out. It's that new math.
The answer is 0. It's not that hard.
You liked Thaka, old man.
Everyone, that's because you people are too stupid. You can't do math.
Play It Now gives you AC 3. Enjoy.
As I sit here doing calculus during playing D&D.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing calculus.
Ever.
The only time, if it is calculus, the only time you'll ever do it is when you pull up the computer and put your information into a formula and it does it for you.
Mm-hmm.
I took years of calculus and I've never used it once.
I know. It's fucking stupid I'd have to take it, but it's required for my degree.
Alright. I didn't know.
You math lobbyists.
I didn't realize Hooker had a math requirement.
They gotta know money.
You gotta count all those singles.
True.
If you make $1 per 5 days, how many days until you pay off your pimp?
Never.
There's actually quite a mathematical science to figuring out how much money you can squeeze out of the average Joe.
Yeah, you turn them upside down and you just shake them. All right, now that some of you have loaded that, did it load for you, Ish?
Yes.
Okay, you can go ahead and close all those windows now. Now, if you pull up your spells and do a search for like your new spells that some of you have got that have come from the Secrets of Magic book, they'll be in there too. Eventually, now that that's out, we'll be getting rid of the ones that I made and using those. But I'm not sure if the automation is on those, so that's why I haven't done it yet. But it also brings all the other classes into the stuff, all the feats, all the archetypes that most of you got when we played before came out of that book, so those are all in the game now. And that was the last of our petty cash that everyone donated months ago. These books aren't cheap, unfortunately. I wish they were.
When's the Kingmaker one come out? That's soon, right?
Supposedly the Kickstarter is supposed to publish in September, be available for purchase, but I saw something the other day where it might be delayed again.
I'll take their time. That's a big module.
Yes and no. It's just a rehash of the first edition one, but they've had all kinds of issues over at Paizo. Their workers unionized, a bunch of them quit, and they've had some issues.
Had something like that going on.
Yeah, but back to the important stuff. Killing you guys off tonight. I mean, downtime.
Rude.
I was like, wait, why am I missing spells? Oh yeah, because I performed at the interview.
That's right. All right, people loaded that. I mean, not everyone needed to load that because some of you don't cast spells, but most of your archetypes are in there. All right, we last left off with God, I have to actually think for your people's names. Wow, it's been too long. With Zakara having a nighttime visitor. So, who would like to do a recap of last session from your notes? Don't everyone jump forward.
I'm trying to fix my camera.
Well, in that case, I rolled a dice. And it came up with a 4. And from left to right, number 4 is Zakara.
Ah, Nanul, you're lucky.
Oh, up there.
What was that?
I said, Nanul, you're lucky.
Oh, yeah. I always go... when I roll dice, it's always left to right by the characters on my screen. I think they're the same order on your screen, but that may not be true. But it's my screen that matters.
Yeah.
I
No.
can show you my screen with my camera.
No, that's okay. I already saw it.
Hey, Mystic, we're missing Barony.
Nah, it probably doesn't need them tonight.
I just noticed.
Mystic has like 5 characters now, so don't tempt him.
I can load every single one of them. I'll take over half the party.
I'll take them out of your control and only let you have them when you change shape. So, Mrs. Zakara, a recap if you would, please.
So, I don't remember what happened 2 weeks ago, but my notes say we started with Trent's questions for Trent and Guillermo.
Yep.
So we got to see what the symbol was for Palor, so we know what to destroy. And St. Cuthbert.
Yep.
And
We did 2 days of downtime.
yes, we
Mostly just-
did.
It's mostly a shopping episode.
We
Some shopping.
And science.
did we? No, we didn't go through the bag. That was the session before that, right?
Correct. Yeah, the party treasure items is pretty empty at the moment.
That's good, though.
Well, yeah, and yeah. You got a care package from the Edland.
The Noble with the endless
Yep.
drink mug.
That Kruger ended up with, crooked. And some cash, which was immediately split up between everyone. Glizzik went to the Mage Guild for his interview and got accepted after showing some tests, so showing his skills. Raz went to the Mage Guild for his sending spell and got a response from his sweetheart. Kruger is supposed to go today on day 3, but no one can find Kruger. He's drunk in an alley somewhere.
I think he went. He's
He
still
went
stuck
to it.
there. He's camping out like it's Star Wars.
Very long line.
6-hour wait.
He needs a fast pass.
They don't know. That's not what they're called anymore.
I
It's
know.
Genie
they
Plus, sir.
don't exist. Lightning Lane.
And then that night, while sleeping, Zakara had a visitor again. Her dearly deceased friend.
That's the second visit that technically was in the session before that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you've had 2 visits from him.
Yeah.
You guys also last time met with a broker, Mateo, put some orders in and gave him some money to find some items for you. And you guys decided upon your chapter house, which one you wanted. The tavern or the slaughterhouse.
Henry?
And you guys picked the old tavern.
It should now be rebranded as Suspicious Bread Incorporated.
No, I'm not sure about that. Pop you guys onto the city map. We rename that pin to chapter house, not location 1, because you guys, there's no location 2 now. You guys picked. So basically, you guys are waking up on the morning of day 3. You all rise up from your long rest. Let me go ahead and flip that. For you spellcaster types.
Sleep.
Most of you are still feeling kind of drained at the moment. Some of you feel very drained, Mr. Galgrim.
Some probably didn't fucking sleep at all.
I think everyone's drained at least one, isn't it?
I think most of us got drained.
Most of us got at
and
least
a
one,
couple,
yeah.
A
Yeah.
couple got a few more stacks.
Everyone but Valis. What a surprise.
Surprise,
Ah.
surprise!
It's that shield spell, I'll tell you.
You need to send a little bit more attention to your wizard.
Or I could be a humble shield tradesman.
Toss a coin out to your wizard and hit him with it.
Alright. So this is day 3 of several of you doing crafting. In fact, half of the party is crafting away in one way or another. Leaving Zakara and, well, Galgrim, he's not crafting, but he gets up and pretty much leaves because he has training to do as he's trying to forget what medical knowledge he has and learn more about jumping and running.
AFK 1 second. Gotta restart.
1001. Where's he at? What the hell? So, Zakara, is there anything you would like to do on day 3?
Originally I was gonna see if Kruger wanted company or not on his sending thing.
Oh,
But if he is not around, I'll just pick up some things shopping.
Some things shopping?
Apple on your head. I need to test something.
You don't have nothing to test yet, Valis. You're still designing it. And then you have to build it.
But if you build it,
They will come. What were you thinking about buying there, Zakara?
Just standard items like some arrows, a tent, repairs for my thieves' tools, so just extras in case something happens to it.
Okay, well, if you want to go ahead and make me a list and send it to me in Discord. Most of those things are probably pretty easy to find. So day 3 is going to go by fairly quick with most of the party working on something. And Zakara's in and out of the inn with packages as she does some shopping. Zakara.
Bargain.
No, what?
Oh, that was weird. Probably need to run as administrator again. What do you have me doing? Because I was.
You are crafting.
I am.
You are reverse engineering the blood crystals.
That's right.
You're reverse engineering those. Glizik is reverse engineering the invisibility potion, and Valis is designing a weapon of sorts.
He designs many things.
And this is the first thing he's designed so far. We'll see how well it works. So, Sakara, you're in and out of the inn a couple times with some small packages and that. And the one time you come in, it's probably mid-morning. And Guillermo's waiting for you. Almost got the wrong thing. He kind of just hands you a scroll and then leaves.
I'll open it up.
The nudie picture.
How'd you know?
All right. If this doesn't work, I will deal with it later.
All right.
Yeah. Not sure what's going on. I'll have to.
There goes Zakara.
I'll finagle with it later.
What, your camera's not working?
Yeah. Tried a bunch of different things. Reinstalled it, updated drivers, different USB slots. Since this is the same thing as happening to the old one, it's got to be something based with the computer. So. It was working the other day too. When I got it, I tested it out and it was work actually.
Did he plug the old one back in and have it by mistake?
Nope, that didn't change nothing.
I don't know. I don't see no video from you.
Yeah, because I've been doing the test one where you can see what the output is without having to actually go live. So it's not even connection based either, since that's not actually broadcasting to anyone. It's just turning on my webcam and showing it to me. Well, that's a problem for future bio to worry about.
You got that pop-up, right, Takara?
Yes. Do I recognize the symbol on it?
No, just what the symbol is. This is what it looks like. You do not recognize it.
Okay. I'll just read through it and is Guillermo still here?
He gave you this and then left.
Like left the house or just went to another room?
No, you're at the inn because that's where you guys are
That's
staying.
Okay.
He handed this. Yep, he gave it to you, kind of nodded, and then walked out because he knew you would probably be around here.
It's because she's got nothing better to do.
Well, that's none of you guys do.
All right, I will put that away for later.
Okay. I'm going to open a new thing on the map for your new location, Zakara. Down in the lakeshore.
I'm glad you got the strip club.
You know those cats.
I can see the pole.
Exactly.
She bought a cat house.
She is a cat house.
She got one of those catios.
Scratching post and everything.
All right. If that's really just the stuff you want to do a little bit of shopping, Zakara, day's gonna pass pretty quick.
Am I the only one not crafting?
Yes, because Galgrim's off a training, and Kruger is unknown. He's MIA.
He's drinking.
He's under Zakara's bed reading poetry, drunk.
Drinking.
All right, day goes by. Zakara does her shopping. You guys another day on your crafting, and you guys come back to the inn, all of you, for your evening dinner together to speak about your day. If there's any news you wish to share.
No, nothing happened since last night. When we were, all having dinner and stuff like that. At that point, nothing happened.
Remember, Zakar, no one knows about your visitors either.
No, I
Not the one last night. You haven't told anyone.
You were the last thing after I did my little drop. He finished off with you having a visitor, and then when the session ended.
Yep.
God damn it. Okay.
I think
That
you
makes
talked
sense.
to Kruger about the earlier visit, but not the one last night.
Wow. I tend not to take notes when I'm not talking, so I don't have notes.
Wow. How do you survive in school?
Wait. No, when I'm very tired tonight. When I'm talking, I can't take notes at the same time. Yeah, that one. So, okay, I will bring up my my scroll at dinner.
Okay.
So, it looks like I have an opportunity to learn more about vampires tomorrow. Anything in particular you think we need to know?
And just standard weaknesses and stuff.
I think we're still split on whether or not silver works on them, right? We had dubious knowledge one way or the other.
We don't know.
So, what does it take to kill one of you? Is what a question you should be asking. I'm sure that'll go over fine.
I mean, if you're just heading down to the library to look up some stuff on vampires or something.
Well, I actually have a meeting with someone. Haven't heard of them before. Pierre Poppington.
Yeah.
Of course, the fucking French.
There's no French here, is she?
Yeah.
Although we are meeting at a fairly high class restaurant in the Lakeshore district. It's the Mask and Moon. Anyone recognize the seal? And I'll show them the scroll I got.
I like to roll my more heraldry.
You may.
What about some socials?
You can roll some society.
Yeah. I like rolling.
You guys,
Well,
you
high
guys,
rollers here.
you guys' bonus are too high. We'll have to start raising the DCs on these to about 70.
I kind of
You don't
figure
have
that's
to
what
do that.
I kind of figure that's what happens through Pathfinder's history. If you're not good at it, you're never gonna do it. I kind of feel that's the point.
Thank you for bringing the average down there, Glizzy.
It's just a hobby.
All right. Well, Glizzy and Raz, you have no clue. You've never seen those symbols. You've seen those symbols before, but the quill and like the parchment together mean nothing to you. Valis, on the other hand, you have heard of a person, and you think that might be his name, Pierre Poppington. He's a sage of some sorts in a hill for. And where's my note?
I'll let Zakar know.
If you remember correctly, Valis, he specializes in the undead astrology, and mathematics.
Does he know calculus?
Just 3 things that go hand in hand, really.
But he seems to be a learned fella. As you guys are sitting there discussing and eating, someone walks over to your table. It is Mateo. Kind of walks over. Evening, folks.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Well, hello.
I'm glad you're all here.
Well, not all of us, but most of us, yeah.
Yeah, where's the orc? I got something he wanted. He owes me some money.
He's drunk somewhere.
I was about to say you could leave with us, but if there's money involved, you better wait till he gets here.
Yeah, he owes me a nice little chunk of change. And so do you, Sir Goblin.
I jiggle my hat a little bit, and you hear 3 gold coins shaking in it.
No, you don't.
Uh,
I believe you owe me a 30 gold yet, sir. And he pulls a partial out of his cloak.
I believe I have.
Pulls a partial out of his cloak. What?
Yep. A partial, teeth.
I do have 30 gold, yes.
Well, you owe him 30 yet on the instrument you wanted.
Yep, and I'm taking it off of mine right now. Done.
Okie dokie.
I count out the coins and slide it over to him.
Okay.
Nonchalantly.
And you should have a new item on your inventory.
This exchange never happened.
Deck of many what?
Deck of many nothing.
Deck of illusions.
Yes. Pavlov Chekhov. Rank Admiral. Perfect. I will try it out. Now, did we decide on what it is? Or how it looks?
I'm leaving that kind of up to you. You can't try it out until you invest in it, because it is a magical item.
Okay.
Invest immediately.
I mean, you can spend time to do it now, but he collects your money. He says, "Make sure you let that orc know that I'm looking for him, and I'm not going to hold this forever."
Oh, we'll definitely let him know when we see him, for sure. And we'll see him for sure tonight, too, so.
Alrighty. He kind of does a little bow, and he leaves.
Hopefully we see him tonight.
Man works fast.
3 days.
Yeah, we put that order in like 3 days ago.
Yep.
What did you get, Glizik?
He holds up a little thing. It's got a handle on it, and then it's kind of got like a tube, and then it gets real round at the end, like as if it was like a vase with a handle on it.
Like a fat trumpet. A thick trumpet.
Kind of, sort of. But it's not really that musical, but it does have some buttons on it.
What does it do?
Yeah, I'm curious about anything with buttons.
I have to apparently spend some time with it.
Take it out, buy it.
What are you going to do?
So I'm assuming that we're here for dinner, and maybe by the end of dinner I'll be able to do a little show or something for you here, and show you what it does. It's gonna take a little bit.
Well, I'm a bit terrified.
Is there anything we need to do in between, or can we just skip time a little bit?
It's up to you guys.
I mean,
Out of character, you realize that whatever he has is not like a normal instrument. It's something to shout into at crowds, maybe. It's a megaphone.
like one of those old timey megaphones.
It's a megaphone.
Yeah,
You
like
push the button on the
cardboard.
side. Yeah, so it's going to magnify his voice for performance checks. Yes. +1, baby.
Not unless it's implied that we have more time than just crafting for the day, because otherwise I got to kill a couple more days to do anything else.
What else would you like to do today?
Oh, maybe do a little influence rumoring. Nothing too fancy.
Influence rumoring. What, you gonna start some rumors about the cat folk?
Probably. Not even directly. It just kind of happens.
Rumor has it.
She is pretty hot. I hear the sailors like her.
Hairballs
She's
everywhere.
exotic.
Exactly.
No, just it's mentioned.
They just wanted to see if they could make her purr.
She's a lover and a house cat.
Do big cats purr?
They
Yes,
do.
I know they don't meow.
Some
They do.
purr and some.
Some do.
Not all of them purr. They do something else.
Does that mean they get those like healing frequencies as well?
Probably. I think cheetahs purr, but I don't think lions purr. They do something else. Can't remember what it's called, but
Freaking projectile urinate.
no, that's usually monkeys. Anything that's bad and again comes flying out is usually from a monkey.
I have a perfectly timed picture of a lion spraying, and that thing looks like a fucking hose.
Why do you have?
You're nasty.
Because
That's
I
just
took a
nasty.
picture of a lion right as he was spraying, and it was perfectly timed.
Pervert.
Weird fetish.
I'm calling PETA.
Colin Pete. Well, he was in a zoo.
You were abusing him.
Clearly, he was abusing the fuck out of that rock with his fucking urine.
Did you get a release form from him signed that you could, take that nasty picture of him, of his genitals?
Oh yeah, it's part of the license agreement. For
He
staying
signed
in
it with
the
the
zoo.
splash.
There you go.
Ignore.
Uh-huh. Alright, anything else people would like to do this evening? I know you said something about rumor mongering, Raz. Care to enlighten?
I'm curious to see what word on the street is about all these nobles who had a recent run-in with some kidnappers. First and foremost, before I can influence the chat. Like, what's the general view of what happened? Because I'm pretty sure something like that would probably be known, that a bunch of nobles were assaulted in the middle of that place. But is this common knowledge that they were taken by vampires, or they were just taken by people, and then subsequently some were rescued and some were killed by their captors? Like, what's the word on the street of what happened that day, now that a little bit of time has passed? That was the first part I wanted to find, because influence rumor, what I want to do with it is going to be changed by what word on the street is. Because if nobody knows there's vampires involved, I'm probably not going to put that little tidbit in there.
Roll me a diplomacy check.
The primary population's humans, right?
By far, yes.
All right.
Like,
I don't know.
80, 90%.
I don't know if it'll matter, but I'd set myself to human on my badge.
Human.
Yep, just like kind of turn it until the prong says human. Pull the string, make
Yep.
a human noise.
Okay, make that check first.
On it.
That's a DC 20, isn't it?
That
Hey, she
is.
had a perfect time to make your little fapping noise. Till it makes a human noise. Cue
Yeah,
issue.
well, humans are definitely known for one fucking thing. Fucking.
Fucking.
So short-lived, man. Let's see here. That is a
Diplomacy
Society.
check, isn't it? Oh, society for the DC 20?
yeah for the DC 20.
I thought that was goblins that were known for that.
More than one race can be known for fucking. It's typically the short-lived ones.
Yeah,
11
humans are
days.
known for
11
fucking.
days, yeah.
Goblins are known for dying in mass.
Yeah. And then diplomacy gets a. Now you said you added the item. Is there anything I need to change here? Like, still give myself the +1.
You still have to give yourself the +1, but
Got
and the extra +1. The base +1 is already should be manually added.
Yes, because that's at +13 right now. Okay. Oh,
So you
that
should
was
be
almost
up-
a 2.
So you see where it went up to a 20, right? I mean a +15.
Yeah.
+1 magical, the effects +1,
Right.
and then you added the other +1.
Yeah, I'm now, through the use of augmented magical implements, expert in diplomacy.
All right. During the day, while you were taking some breaks and stuff from trying to figure out those damn blood crystals. The word on the street, at least over here in this, the areas where you can travel freely, the trades ward and the workers ward.
More places than the rest of them could. What?
Maybe.
Alice.
There's not a whole lot of information I mean, there's rumors that there have been some kidnappings, and from they name some people, and they probably name a good dozen or more nobles. You knew of like 3.
We got
there is no word of anything about vampires or undead or anything like that. The big rumor is that it's probably people trying to get ransom. Because a few that were kidnapped reappeared the other day.
Okay. I want to try to use, since vampires aren't the rumor on the street, I want to use influence rumor to attempt to
add vampires
to my narrative. No.
Someone's already
start
adding.
using random people being vampires.
There's a test for that. Stake them in the heart, and if they die, then they're a vampire.
No.
There you
wait.
go. If she drowns, she's a witch, right? She drowns, she's a witch.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll use influence rumor to start spreading around that the people who came back were indeed rescued and their kidnappers.
What is influence rumor? What?
It's out of
feat was
dandy
that?
dedication.
Ah, dandy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, where? I don't see nothing here saying influence.
I used it like once. You are a consummate student of dignity, etiquette, and fashion. You can use the diplomacy.
You're not
skill.
fashion.
I am fashion, good sir. Check out this hair horn. You can use the diplomacy skill to perform a special downtime activity, influence rumor, spending at least a day of downtime, so I would need to not craft or be done with crafting to do this.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
You want a day of crafting or not?
I could pause the crafting, right? It doesn't like reset anything.
You can.
Okay. I think my attention span would probably have me do this.
Okay.
Spending at least one day of downtime to manipulate the course, tone, or content of a rumor to your benefit. The difficulty of influencing a rumor is determined by the GM based on the size of the community, the relative perceptiveness of the inhabitants, and the agency of other rumor mongers, but typically starts with at least, let's see, is this a city or a metropolis?
This would be a city.
DC 30 for a city.
Can I cast guidance on you to help?
Before any other
nope.
Before any other modifiers. Yeah, that's the typical DC before any other shit that the DM has in the background going for you, or not.
And there's no way that either Zakar or I could help.
I mean, nothing happens if I fail. It just means the rumor doesn't really take.
No, you would have to be a dandy as well because you don't have this. You don't have this skill.
Okay,
so I just didn't know if we could aid with another skill like
eyes
or.
It basically gives me a downtime activity. I'm not sure if it's exclusive to Dandy, but Dandy's one of the ways to get it.
Okay. Just trying to get you +1, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it because the DC 30 is still pretty much not my.
It's high.
It's possible, but it's definitely closer to 50-50 than I'd like.
All right, make that diplomacy check. Make sure you put the +1 in.
All right. Yeah, the intent behind it is to paint this devilishly skilled and handsome group as maybe the folks who saved these people from a worse fate that some others didn't come back from. However, I'd like to use a hero point.
Okay.
Speaking of, give yourself your hero points back if you didn't do it. What else am I going to use it on tonight? Probably not.
The next roll you're going to miss.
Right?
Your crafting check. Oh! That was a wise spending.
And like I said, there's nothing listed for failing. I'm sure you could probably think of something for a critical fail.
Well, if you critically fail, it'd be like you guys were the ones that fucking kidnapped them.
We orchestrated it. There's a conspiracy going
exactly.
on now.
I don't even know that gnome.
I don't even know this gnome.
I don't believe in gnomes.
Right into chat what you added to the rumors.
Gnome him. I barely even knew him.
See.
Okay.
Valis knows a lot about gnomes, and not gnomes, goblins at least. Especially mating rituals.
I've seen things and I have PTSD.
It's like Tinder, but for goblins, except there's only 2 of them, and they always swipe.
It's only
right
one.
Way.
Weird. I don't even have goblin lore, but he does.
He does now.
I have more non-flashbacks added to my non-flashbacks.
It's just non-flashbacks with just gratuitous goblin sex noises as the soundtrack.
So we call Nom.
You can move on with someone else's stuff.
I think you are the only one left to do for day 3.
Well, shit. Move on to day 4. It's gonna take me a second.
That's fine. Welcome to day 4.
Was it gonna perform?
Oh yeah. Get up on the stage, bitch.
Oh, I'm not performing a song. I get up there and
You're not taking your clothes off, are you? Because I'll make Valis roll fucking will save.
And
PTSD roll.
I'm attuned to my new microphone / megaphone type thing, and I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna tell a story. It's kind of a joke story, but so there's and you hear feedback coming through it. Is this thing on? Check 1, 1, 2. So I was going down the road the other day, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm riding on my horse, and this chicken with 3 legs comes up next to me, running along beside us. And I said, that's a weird thing. And next thing I know, it takes off down the road way ahead past my horse. The horse is going as fast as it can, trying to keep up with the chicken. And we just see the trail of dust. Well, we followed the trail of dust. It turns into a farm. I go in and I talk to the farmer, and I said, hey, what the heck is up with that 3-legged chicken? He goes, well, here's the thing. I like the chicken leg, Ma likes the chicken leg, and my son likes the chicken leg. So we started breeding 3-legged chickens. And I said, really, what does it taste like? He said, I'll let you know if I catch one. But hey,
all right, make your performance check there, Mike. When you're up there doing it, I totally see Mike Wazowski up doing comedy, about the same size and same color, isn't he? Blue.
All he needs is the eye mask.
Exactly.
Also, Mike Wazowski was green, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
I don't remember.
26.
Sully was blue.
Alright, you do get a few guffaws out of the crowd, but none from your party.
Yep.
We're used to the antics right now at this point.
Working
It's like
as
building up
intended.
resistance to poison.
But you notice that his voice was much louder.
Great.
And in Goblin, that means better for singing and stuff.
I see. Orc logic. ORK logic.
My Goblin song that I sing, the next level of it is called Goblin Song, and it's basically you just sing louder, so the distance, the range increases on it. That's the next feat you take for it.
Your next feat is literally lung capacity.
Mm-hmm. Instead of it being a 30-foot range, it's a 60-foot range.
So you double your lungs. You now have 4.
Goblin with 4 lungs because of radiation.
Yep. Alrighty. The crowd got a few people laugh and that, and they don't hate you quite as much for being a goblin right at the moment. In a little while, they still will. But you guys chat some more, finish your dinner, have a few drinks, and you guys all head off to bed. Next morning, you guys get up, and welcome to day 4. Zakara, what are you doing for day 4?
Should have took up crafting.
Still can.
Don't. I think you have it. Don't you have that skill?
Because non-crafter. No, Raz, don't make eye contact with it.
I don't make eye contact with anybody. You look down at me when I'm talking to you.
He looks you straight in the knee and tells you what's what, Valis.
Everybody always forgets the knees are a really vulnerable part of the body.
Mm-hmm.
You do have crafting, Zakara.
You may not have something specific picked like we
You're
do.
part of the collective now.
You may not
You
be
can craft like arrows.
You may not be like intelligence specialized levels of crafting, but you're trained in it, right?
Yeah, trained.
You want to use my microphone to say that again? It's so hurtful. He called you dumb.
That's okay. He used big words. They didn't understand it.
Lots of syllables. Flowery text.
during the day, I will just check in with the inn, see if I've received any other messages. Since I know Rovo is going to get back to me on a price for the information that Kruga wanted on the dead meat. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
That was the ship name, right?
Yeah.
Or Kruger, whichever. Yep. Nope, you haven't heard nothing from her yet.
Okay. Have we seen Kruga at all?
Has he at least been around? He just, hasn't been talkative or whatever.
You're just wondering he's not dead, right?
Drinking himself
Yeah.
into oblivion, so we just kind
Shanked
of
in the
blood.
alleyway.
He is not dead, no.
Shanked in an alleyway, but he's still standing.
Last night, Sakar, he did stumble drunkenly into your room, fell on your bed. You kind of took you a few moments to kind of push him out of your bed onto the floor, and he passed out.
Flip the mattress.
Still whispering.
I remember
poetry.
those
Table
days.
flip.
It's a rude awakening, I'll tell you what that is.
Next week, Fable's going to come back with a new character.
Nah, he likes Kruger.
Dead.
Died in an alley. Zergan killed me. Ha! Which Zergan? There were 6.
So we don't have access to the chapter house yet, right? That's gonna be near.
No, this week, pretty much Guillermo is, I don't want to say he's building anything in it. He is cleaning it out, getting it hospitable.
Gotcha.
Patching holes in walls and stuff, and then if you want changes, that'll start after this downtime.
Got it. I just didn't know whether or not if we had shit in there already or not.
You do. That's where that's where you put your lab.
Make sure you're cleaning the place up. This gets set up right away.
I mean, so you're in there working during the day, and he's in there cleaning. He's not really doing. He's doing some of the work, but he also has people hired. Punch people in and out of there cleaning. He's not. He's more. I mean, you've seen the picture of him. He's not very muscular or very handy with anything. It looks like. Let's see if he held a weapon, he'd probably drop it on his foot. But he's good at bossing other people around.
Neat. The workers set that shit up. I'll definitely be in there while they're trying to do other work. Weird smells, beakers, things like that.
Yeah. They're getting paid. They don't care.
In 40 years, there'll be some freaking Agent Orange text going around.
40 years, you'll be dead. So who cares?
They'll be dead.
I mean, all right. So Goblin, Human, and Gnome are crafting. Zakara's kind of going around checking on her contacts, and Galgrim's off training again. He comes back every night. He looks a little dumber, but more fit.
No comment.
By the way, don't forget, Zargan, that part of my downtime was checking in within that week for the mages thing to register.
Was it?
Yeah, it was in my downtime.
And did you read what I posted in the chat in Discord? Just because you put it in the well, I'm just saying, just because you put it in your downtime doesn't mean it automatically happens. The downtime purpose of you guys putting it into a list is twofold. One, so you have a list of what you want to do, and two, so I have an idea of what you want to do, so I can prepare for it.
Okay, well, at some point I'm going to swing by and do that and register before I hit that whatever week or whatever, which is coming up really close.
It is.
Do you want me to walk you over because I'm like a member now and stuff, or do you want to do it on your own?
I just swing by someday when I'm like heading out in the morning to go train.
All right, Galgrim, now that you brought that up, there are questions you must answer. What's the airspeed velocity of a swallow?
African and European.
Both.
How do you
All right.
That's for those.
First question, Galgrim. What tradition do you follow?
Primal, right? Primal?
Can I be like outside the window miming to him the answers?
No.
It's the answers you gave.
I'm too short, so you see my hands.
Pretty sure it's Primal. What's the name of it?
They do ask for your whole name. What name do you give them?
Galgrim Oakenback.
Okay.
I think what I. Fuck, what was my last name?
Dumas.
Yeah, Oakenback.
No, that's Yuri's last name.
Oakenback,
Yuri.
and yeah, it's Primal.
Yuri says you're a retard. I have a 15-year-old boy. I know all these. All right. Do you specialize in any schools or types of magic?
A shape change.
Okay. Do you gain your power from anything other than the natural magical weave of the universe, as in like patrons or anything like that?
No.
And what rank spells are you capable of?
4th.
All right. That's all it is. You're now, they put you in their book and you're now registered. You will not be illegal in a couple of days and hunted down like the dog Ishi is.
Well,
Oh.
I mean,
like that.
I mean, registration every year. You know, what I mean, on your birthday.
and we have to put a barcode on you.
Little sticker on your butt.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
A tramp stamp.
Okay. Cool. Bye, and just leave.
That's fine. Alrighty, day 4. 3 people are crafting. Zakara is out doing some errands.
I will. I know Kruga and I didn't have much luck before, but I will. Seeing how down Kruga is, I'll try to get more information. Just asking around again. What was that again?
I can't remember if he told you what he found, because he found some information last time. I can't remember if he told you that or not.
I want to say it's been.
I
feel
thought
like
he did, but
it's also been like 2 weeks.
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you can sure look for more. I mean, you can spend time looking, trying to find information on your own.
Okay, yeah. I remember he found a drunk guy, bought him a drink.
Mm-hmm. Got some information about that. Yep.
Okay.
All right. So day 4, 2 of you complete your crafting requirements. So let's start with the little itty bitty goblin. All right, Mr. Goblin, sir.
My dad is named Mr. Goblin.
On your character sheet, delete your invisibility potion.
No.
It is gone.
Told you not to drink the product, man.
Well, I can't find it. It's invisible. It's an invisibility potion. Okay.
Once you have done that, roll me your potion. Roll me your crafting for potions.
Do you want me to get rid of it or just put it to 0? Because I'm gonna
Get rid of it.
Well, because if I made it, you're gonna have to put it back in.
You know that when you reverse engineer something, it is destroyed.
Right, but I'm saying in the future, I'm gonna make them if I left it. So I'm just trying to save myself.
Then I'll drag it back in onto you.
Well, you heard him. The DM wants to do the double work.
Well, no, it's just easier this way. That way, there's no. It's just easier to do it one step at a time.
Thought he just wants to mark it as a favorite in his menu.
I figured it out, so it's gone.
All right, then go ahead and roll me your potion crafting.
Okay, but I do get a bonus for seasoned, I do believe, because it's a potion. I'm not yet master, so it's just +1 right now. It'll be +2 when I get to master. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Hero point,
Okay.
because it's important. I mean, 23 sounds good, but I don't trust the 7, so I'm gonna do it again.
23 sounds good because we all play D&D. This is Pathfinder.
29.
Alright. Alright, that is a success. Now, let me see.
Good thing I got that extra hero point for telling that joke.
That's the joke.
Yeah, at least I made him laugh at that one.
That is not a critical success, so you don't get extra.
You learned greater
Alright.
invisibility potion.
You have a decision, good sir.
Oh yeah.
You could pay 5 gold right now, and we could add the formula to your book.
Okay.
Or you can keep on working to lower that price for of the formula.
I will pay the 5 gold now.
All right. Take 5 gold off.
$3 gold and 20 silver. Got it.
Yep, that'll work.
Because potions don't care what it's made of.
I think that's the right one. All right, it's on your list now. You marked your 5 gold off. You are now able to craft invisibility potions.
Yeah, I'm going to know what I'm doing with the next 4 days.
All right, Mr. Valis.
Boom.
We will see. Roll me your crafting skill.
No boom.
You heroic music.
Dun 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 dun.
Roll me hero point.
Gotta
Okay.
have a montage.
Go. Terrible roll number 2.
You can't get much worse than that, dude.
It's better.
9.
9? Alrighty. At the end of day 4, you dust off your paperwork, and you have a formula. You can spend you don't have it finished yet. You have the same decision that Glizik just made. You can spend 2.5 silver, and we'll put the formula in your book, or you can keep working for more time to lower the price. It's 2.5 silver.
I may be a cheap ass, but that's a little too cheap for me. Y'all pay the silver.
Okay, mark off 2 silver and 5 copper. And you now know how to make arquebuses.
Arquebuses.
I don't think I have a formula for that, so I'll make a note here and I'll add it into your stuff somehow.
Ain't that
Eye.
Ain't that freaking old age like gunpowder rifle?
Musket.
Yep.
Primitive musket.
You know, the one that Salcedo tried to use, and he was all like, "What do you mean I can only fire it once and then have to reload?"
For 3 rounds.
It is a level 0 item, so that's why it's so cheap. Alrighty, so you now have a formula for a gun. Day 4. During dinner, Mateo shows up again.
I would not be there.
He goes, "Where's the York? He's still not back?"
Oh, he's out drinking.
And then he turns to the dwarf. "You got my money?"
Where's my money?
How much do I owe you?
37.5 gold.
Yeah, hand it to him.
Okay, mark it off. And he hands you a bag.
It's 10 to 1, right? So
Yes, everything's 10.
So be 37 and 5 silver.
Yep. And you now have a bag of holding 1. These bags are crooked. The bag of holding level 1 holds 25 bulk.
Yep.
I mean, that's fucking outrageous.
Well,
And coin-wise, that's like 12,000 or 20,000 coins, something. It's crazy.
well, I mean, a suit of heavy armor is like what, 6 or not 6, but like 4 or 5 bulk.
Yeah.
So if you find some decent armor, we want to fucking rip.
True.
Off. No.
Now, Galgrim, I'm going to let you know how to work this, and people can listen too, because other people have ordered them, and if you get one down the road. What you want to do, when you want to put stuff in your bag of holding, to the right of the item, where it says backpack, under location, you put bag of holding there.
Mm-hmm.
And put stuff in there, and the system should not count it against your weight. We'll see if it works. As long as you don't have it equipped. Just have it in there as carried, and it should be good. And the party has its first bag of holding.
No, here, let's test that.
As you shove the goblet inside the bag, is that what you're testing it with?
Uh,
I want to go in the cart.
it's dark in there.
Yeah, see, when you put it, change it, it goes from a 9 to a 2,
Yep.
or a 9 to a 7. But I thought you were wearing that breastplate.
I was just testing it.
Okay, cool. So the extra add-on, extra thing I've added in does work. You don't have 2 of those, though, Mystic. Like, I won't notice that. Alright, the party now has 2 items that they wanted. They'd have 3 if Kruger would, ever show up for a dinner.
Fucking drunk.
Does anyone else have anything else they want to do on day 4?
I wanted to start crafting the potions, but I put it in chat. I'm just looking.
That would be day 5.
Okay.
So that'd be 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you'd have your 4 days.
I was gonna go to the Mask and Moon.
Ah, okay. Going by yourself?
Well, he
And
didn't
are you
say.
buying better?
Zargan, that was the weight thing you had me change.
Huh?
That was the weight column you had me change from 2 to 1.
I didn't tell you to change that at all.
You said you only have 1 of those, not 2.
Yeah, and on your inventory list, it was shown 2.
Yeah, that was the weight column. Anyways.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The right-hand column to the right of the items is the weight of the item.
No, that's the location column. The box to the right would be the weight. And the box on the left is number of items.
Okay, anyways.
What's the mask?
I deleted the extra one anyway, so.
Okay.
Mask and Moon is in the Lakeshore. The Richie place.
No, I'm asking Zakara. What's a mask and moon?
That's where I'm supposed to meet this Mr. Poppington person.
Do you want some company?
Sounds like a gif.
Sounds like a strip
He's a
club.
bunny.
I actually wouldn't mind it. He didn't say not to bring anyone. He says to meet him there while he's having meet him there for dinner, and he will answer questions for a candle length of time. About an hour.
Candle's length.
We should craft up some long ass candles then. For just such an occasion.
Well, if the company is not minded, I wouldn't mind tagging along. since we seem to find ourselves intertwined with a lot of interesting developments here.
If you go to the Mask and Moon, you will not be there at dinner time when Mateo shows up.
That's fine.
I mean, if you're not expecting anything, that's fine.
I think I'm expecting Galgrim said he would pay for now, and I pay him back later.
If I have the money for it.
Well, I would hope you had the money for it.
How much was it?
I believe it was 125 gold. That sounds
actually, hold on. I have that. Okay, we're good.
Alright, so who's all going with Sakara?
I'll go if she doesn't mind the company.
I'll stay with Galgrim for dinner.
And Valis.
Well, I was leaving it up to him whether he wanted to go or not.
Oh, yeah, I'll stay back at the thing. I'll stay behind.
Valis interested in joining?
I can go if you want me to.
Sure, I don't mind.
You've been to them all.
I don't mind outnumbering him.
Okay.
So 3 of you are going?
Say, Glizzy, you're welcome to go too if you want to.
Oh, I'll keep you company, man. It's fine.
He wants to serenade you.
Blah. He's just sitting right next to you using the megaphone.
Right in your ear.
It's
Whatever
like
he just
feedback
yells through the megaphone.
every time he's talking to you now. Volume 11.
Since we leveled last, I haven't updated my society loadout. It's going to be the same thing, Zargan, except the extra reagent that I got for the level is going to be spent on a ghost charge.
Got.
Since vampires are about, might be good to have something.
They are?
Against the undead.
I haven't heard that fake news.
Well, it ain't a rumor yet, but I know the truth.
All right. So you guys decide you're gonna meet there because you're all busy during the day, and independently, you each come up with the idea of the current clothes you have might not be nice enough.
I take offense to that.
Do you have fine clothing on your list, sir?
Do I have fine clothing? He says. I don't.
And the answer is no.
How much does some fine-ass clothing go for?
Well, they start at two gold an outfit. And they can go up to pretty. That's the basic for fine clothing, like a suit or something. If you want high fashion, that's about 55 gold.
No, we're all going out for a nice dinner, not to a gallant ball. You have multiple suit clothes for these things. I'll probably pick something up then, if that's more appropriate to show up in that neck of the woods, dressed for the occasion.
Oh, most definitely.
I should probably have something like that anyway.
Let's drop 5 gold on just some nice dinner clothes that are not obviously the cheapest thing that like freaking Galgrim went and bought a suit because he had to kind of thing.
What would be appropriate for me to spend on that?
All right, hold on a second.
Sorry, I hit caps lock towards the end there by accident.
I'll get back to you here in a minute, Glizik.
No worries.
Yep. I don't think you have fine clothing on your list there, Val. Because the answer is no, then you didn't pack any from home.
I mean, who needs a suit?
Right. Fuck.
So, 2 gold plus for fine clothing, 55 gold plus for high fashion fine clothing. So you guys can add a thing to your inventory with fine clothing and put in parentheses how much you spend on it, and then mark off the money. Now, If you spend more, it may not necessarily look better, but it's finer material, and people would notice. It's like, hey, I got my men's warehouse suit right next to a guy who has an Armani. Yeah.
What would be more appropriate for mid-nobility?
Depends on how much you want to show, how much money. It's all based of how much you think to impress. Now, in Traveler, we're talking tens of thousands of credits these fuckers spent on their clothing, but they had a few extra. They had a few more zeros to their name.
Gel layer.
But since you are only 7th level and you're looking at maybe 50 gold, 100 gold in your pocket, you might not want to blow it all on a fancy dinner coat that you'll use once, maybe.
Spending 5. Okay. Some of us will use it more often. 5 gold seems like a nice, out for a good dinner.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
do it. Raz,
Okay. Add an item to your inventory called fine clothing, and like I said, put how much you spend in it, and then mark the money off.
I'd like
How
to
much do they weigh?
argue. I'd like to argue on behalf of Bio that he should pay less for his clothes because they're smaller.
No, he should
requires
pay more
work.
because they're specially tailored.
It's just human baby clothes they put you in. That's all.
Why am I wearing this bib? God damn it!
Gosh, but gosh, it's a very good brand.
It's Elvin. You're good.
Gosh, but gosh, Shire.
How much does it weigh?
Oh, clothing are like light.
Okay. 0.1.
Yep. All clothing is light.
Going in the backpack. When I'm not using it.
Backpack goes in water. The clothing are ruined. Excellent.
Nothing changes no matter where I put that on my body.
Is it diaphanous?
If you had a bag of holding,
I don't have a bag of holding. Galgrim has the bag of holding. What am I going to do? Cram this in there right before I need to go to dinner and then drag him along with
just
me?
shove the dwarf in the bag and keep it shut for about a day, and you won't. And it's a free bag of holding.
He turned into an air elemental, didn't he? It lived.
He turned to a vampire. Oops. So, Zakara, you are not buying any fine clothing?
I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just saw you were saying I would probably get one in the future. Are you referring to the invisibility potion?
That was the invisibility.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, 5 clothes, I'll go with the standard 5 gold.
Alright, put those on your character sheet, and you guys kind of show up outside, kind of wait for each other, and you're all kind of decked out in some new fancy clothes, all, pleats and that, nice and folded. You're kind of moving a little stiff in them because they're new. You walk and make that whoosh, whoosh noises as the pant legs rub together for the first times. I'll make this pop up for everyone. Little description of the Mask and Moon. As you guys walk in, you are Raz and Valage don't show it as much, but Zakara has this look of astonishment on her face for a moment before she gets rid of it. Just at the sheer elegance of this place. I mean, it's like silk tablecloths. Everyone's wearing clothes that make your 5 gold clothes look like you pulled them out of the dirty rag pile.
I mean, it's kind of what we did.
I mean, you're talking just a rough estimate for those of you who have an eye for this kind of shit. Their clothes are measured in tens, if not hundreds of gold, and the women are wearing a lot of jewelry, like heavy gold, gemstones everywhere. The women are wearing clothes that are everything from, very little material to see-through materials. It says like a show of the rich and powerful of the town. You guys wait in line for a moment or two, 30 seconds or so, as you move up to where the maitre d' stands at his little podium. You guys, the people in front of you leave, and you kind of take your step up. He kind of looks down at you guys. He looks at Valis, then at Zakar, then down at the gnome, because the height differences. Yes, may I help you?
What's the name of the guy we're here for, Zakara?
Pierre Poppington.
Ah, that's right, the Pierre. You don't even have to meet with an
Oh.
individual, one Pierre Poppington.
Ah, yes. Senior Poppington said he was expecting guests. I guess I wasn't sure of what he meant by that. Please come with me. And he kind of steps by and has you guys follow him. Another gentleman steps up and takes his place to handle the people in line. People are looking at you. Some are trying to be a little coy about it, like not staring or trying not to, but other ones just like, oh my god,
They can stare
what are
at the
they doing here?
Long as they don't
Type of a
touch.
thing.
Yeah, I have
Good
my
thing
thing-
Kruger's not here. Good thing. It doesn't matter for you, Valis. You're with them. If Kruger was here, it'd be like perfect. And the goblin, it'd be
I
like,
knew the right was
exactly.
there. Stick out in 100.
He takes you off to a side chamber and up some steps to an area where there's several doorways. And he goes up to the first door. He knocks. Waits a moment. A voice calls on, "Enter!" He opens the door. "Your guests have arrived, sir." He opens it up and motions the three of you into the small room. Well, it looks... What was that?
I was gonna say when this guy was talking about Pierre, did he say Signor or Senior?
Signor.
Signor.
You guys go in expecting like this kind of small room because that's what it appears from the outside, but there's like a table and stuff. You figure this table will probably hold a good 8 people or so, fairly comfortable. Table, chairs around it, glass around like the front of the like booth, overlooking down into the rest of the restaurant. You guys kind of walk in, the maitre d' kind of shuts the door behind you, and Pierre kind of looks up. "Oh yes. Please, have a seat."
Oh, we'll wait. I'll wait for Zakara to take hers first.
I'll sit down. Thank you for agreeing to meet with us.
But of course, do you have my gold?
I will take out a platinum piece and slide it over to him.
Ah, excellent. He picks it up, slides it right up, and puts it right into his pocket. He reaches over, grabs a candlestick, slides it over. There's a normal-sized candle in it. And he, as he's doing this, you guys look down. There's a menu face down in front of you at each table spot. So all three of you could pick it up and look at one if you wanted to. He has a plate of some strange looking food. You've never seen it before. Different types of food look like. Little plate of dessert with some pudding and just different foods that none of you recognize. He kind of pulls the candlestick over, kind of snaps his fingers. A little fire appears on it. He lights the candle. He goes, "Yes, you have 1 hour to ask." And kind of goes back to starting eating some more of his food. First question, does anyone look at the menu?
I'll look at the menu.
I knew one of you would.
Yeah.
Just Valis, or does everyone look at their menu?
Here for business. Business first.
I will probably look at it afterwards.
Okay. There's the menu. As Valis, you pick up the menu, it starts to feel warm in your hand, like a little bit of pulsating, almost alive. And you look at it, and there's 3 items listed on the menu. As shown here, the name, prices, a little description, and a picture of it. I believe everyone can see the menu. Nothing too expensive on there. And Pierre takes a bite of his food, looks over. So what is your first question? You wish to know about vampires, right?
Yes, as much as you can. We're particularly interested in what weaknesses they have.
Well, what sort of vampires are we talking about? There are multiple kinds, you know.
I did not know. I guess we should start with that.
Probably should have asked the car before we came in here what exactly this guy should or shouldn't know, but I'll take her lead.
So, are you referring to the normal vampires, their spawn, the what they call the Eastern vampires?
Quijin?
Don't know too much about them. But basic vampires, like you would find, I want to say around here, maybe perhaps in the mountains or graveyards, places like that, most of them have common abilities. Both the full vampires and the spawns. You understand the relationship between them, correct?
The full vampires create the spawns.
Not all of them, yes. There are different, how shall I say, categories of vampires. Spawn is the lowest. They are the servants, the pawns, the ones that they create. And then there's a level above them, a category above them, where they are a full vampire, but they cannot make spawns. Then there's above them, there are more powerful ones that's where they start creating spawns. Basically, a vampire, they all can do this. They feed. They bite on a living being. Human, gnome. What the fuck's the name?
House cat.
A Murrin. And they feed. They drink your blood. Sometimes it heals them, but not every time. We are not exactly sure why. Sometimes some people think they can only do it so many times a day. Other people think it depends on who they drink from. There's various things. And this drinking of your blood leaves you weakened. How come the people who are drained like 2 and 3 times aren't here, damn it?
I mean, I'm sure all of us are a little lacking in the pallor, but
you are, but
for us.
Exactly. Yeah, Galgrim's pretty obviously something's wrong with him, but
Sickly. Got bit. He's gonna be one.
And now they can only do this to a certain victim once or twice before it has no more benefit. They can still drink, but it does not sate their thirst.
This is a curious.
And this usually heals them.
A curious
From
work.
Now you, he points out, as look more of like a noble sort. And you two look more possibly, he looks at Raz, possibly a businessman, maybe a tradesman. And you, he looks at you, Zakar, you seem to be more of an adventurous sort. So you've probably run into these vampires before. And that is, or you're thinking of raiding one's lair, so you're checking up on information. Am I correct?
Very insightful.
Knowledge is my business.
There is rumors of use for vampire dust in assorted bits and bobs of them, I will admit.
Oh, there is. The trouble is getting it. It has a value in various magical concoctions.
Not to mention alchemical.
Yes. basically, if you harvest some, it's worth X amount of gold, and you would use that making stuff. Which you have alchemical stuff on you, Bio. You just never have used it from the house, the haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your questions? Oh, before we begin, he looks over at Valis. Would you like some food?
I'm good for now, thank you.
If you change your mind, merely pick up that golden bell there. He points. You see a little rack on the side with 4 different bells. Each one's a little bit different. One, there's a silver, there's a copper, there's a bronze, and there's a gold one. Simply pick the gold one up, think of what you want, and ring it. And in 5 or 10 minutes, they will bring it up to you. But now, back to your questions.
Well, now that you've told us a bit about the different types, what weaknesses do they have?
Most of them, of course, is a big one is sunlight. Real sunlight, not like light from a torch or a magic spell. That is not sunlight. It's actual pure sunlight from the sun, or I suppose if you have some sort of divine magical ability, sometimes they can do that as well. It does not necessarily kill them, though. It slows them down. As soon as it touches their skin, they are able to move slower than they were. And this slowness gathers power the longer they are in the sunlight. If they are in it long enough, they will burn up and be destroyed. But it does not harm them physically. It just slows them. That is the big one.
What about the more old wives' tales remedies, garlic and the holy water and the such?
See, that's where it gets confusing. If you have 2 different vampires. One might be affected by those, the other one may not be. It almost seems that some have... almost like there's a randomness to it. Like, Vampire A might be affected by garlic, but not a reflection or running water, where Vampire B might be affected by all of them. A theory I have come up with myself, but I have not found proof, is that the older the vampire is, the more powerful, of course, they become, the less these things affect them. So, like a vampire spawn who was, say, created yesterday, garlic won't necessarily ward them off. But if one of you has garlic and one of you does not, it would probably choose the one not to attack. But as they become older and more powerful, these minor nuisances fade.
Curious. Is this the lesser ones, the spawn, I believe you called them? Is there a way
Yes.
for them to grow into one of the more later types, or is it something that
Yes.
is affected?
Usually, if a spawn slays its creator and drinks of his blood, he grows in power and is no longer a spawn. He would become a full vampire.
An interesting requirement. I was under the implication that they were unable to raise arms against their masters.
It is rare, and they don't have to be the one that kills him. If someone else were to kill him and they were there and they drank the blood, they would grow in power. If the master is just killed, then they just become free-willed, just like you and I. But otherwise, they are a servant to their master.
And as long as this caveat is not met, that spawn will remain as spawn. The nest of vampires won't slowly become greater vampires over time.
No, the spawns cannot become more powerful. They are limited. Otherwise, the world would have been overrun by vampires years ago.
That's always one concern I had about a bunch of vampires underground being stronger just because they got left alone.
And from what he's saying, you're pretty sure it involves like decades, not just like a couple months, for them to grow more powerful. You know, it's not like, hey, I'm 3 days old now. Woo, I'm more powerful.
Just like on BTM.
Kind of.
Sheriff's taking care of all those thin bloods for you, though.
So you explained how the spawn becomes a full vampire. How do they go from a full vampire to one that is powerful enough to create more spawn?
Well, if they were the one that would kill their master and drink of his blood, it would assume its position, and therefore would be able to make spawn of its own. It would not assume control of the fellow spawn, but drinking of the blood of its master allows it to assume that rank. We are not sure how the lower rank is created. The ones that are vampires yet cannot make spawn. Those are fairly rare. Perhaps it's by some necromantic magic or something like that those type are created. And Valis
Write that down.
What about silver specifically? Is there any truth to a weakness or any effect?
Silver itself, no. If it is a magical silver item, it has been enchanted with any kind of normal enchantment, it would be it would slice right through and totally ignore their resistances. Vampires are hard to kill with normal mundane weapons. Even a magical steel sword, they seem resistant to it. But a magical silver blade, or arrow, or club, whatever, it has been silvered, seems to ignore most of those resistances.
Start scratching its sword with silver coin.
That's what I know. That's what I did. You ain't allowed to steal that.
That's copyrighted.
That's right. Allura copyrighted that.
What about the things of a more elemental nature, natural fire or acid? Anything?
Oh, those would definitely go right. These were their resistance is mostly to weapons and such, like falling from a building. That kind of stuff they would be mostly immune to. But fire burns. Fire can do in a vampire certainly as the most enchanted silver blade. Whether it's magical fire or even just a torch.
And how do you get turned into a spawn in the first place?
Well, when a vampire drinks of your blood, it weakens you. That lowers your constitution, your endurance. If they drink, and that's every time they drink, whether they gain benefit from it or not. Every time they do this, you get weaker and weaker. Eventually, if they drink enough, it will kill you.
Blood loss.
And then when you're buried, you will rise up that night as a spawn. Which is why a lot of the superstitious folks in the villages and stuff, if they think a vampire is killing their people, they will burn their bodies. No body, there ain't no rising.
And if someone were to get turned, is there a way to turn them back?
If they're just a spawn, yes. It's relatively simple. I believe a remove curse cast upon them will remove them. But it kills them. It doesn't bring them back to life. So you would do the remove curse and they would become just a body again. Then if you had access to resurrection, you could bring them back. But that's, of course, if they have not fed. Once a spawn has fed, there is no way back, sort of a wish. Or maybe there's that temple here in town of, what's that god's name? Palor. Supposedly the tier of Palor has the ability to turn any undead back to their original form. Some artifact they jealously guard.
Destroying them, that would actually do so. If you destroy a spawn, they are gone for good. Yes, they don't rise back or.
Correct. A spawn has no escape mechanism usually. If you kill them and you kill them, they are dead. Sometimes some of them can turn to mist and such and escape. But if they have to do it before they get to death's door, once they have been dropped, basically once they below zero, they are dead.
So all the spawn we killed are actually dead.
Yes. Now, full vampires, or true vampires, some call them, when you kill them, they do not die. They turn to mist and retreat to their coffin, where they regenerate.
I would assume that's where they would be most vulnerable, where you could actually destroy one.
For a true vampire, yes. If you caught one regenerating in his coffin and put a stake in his heart or behead him, that would finish him off. Some say some of the more powerful true vampires, even if you burn them with magical fire or silver blade and kills them, they just simply turn to mist and retreat. True vampires can also change shape. Bats, rats, various small rodents.
I knew it. Galgrim's a vampire.
Motherfucker was leading us the whole time.
Well, that's where he was going all this time.
To his master.
It's Barney, isn't it? The head vampire.
He's not arguing him. He's not arguing the point, is he?
Barney's the master.
Master race.
Protection from sunlight cast on them every day.
He just keeps polymorphing into a bear, so he's not a vampire, right? It's like Lady Hawk.
Your candle's about half gone.
Are you?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, you mentioned staking one. How effective
Yes.
is that on typical spawn? Just as effective as cutting them down? Or would a single stake at the beginning of a conflict end it just as quickly?
If you can get a shot in with a stake in their heart on a spawn, it would incapacitate them. They would drop to the ground, unable to move, unable to heal until the stake was removed. But you can only truly stake a vampire when they are unconscious, so it'd have to be usually during the day while they are sleeping. Although they don't have to sleep during the day. They are immortal, eternal. They don't need rest. During the sunlight hour, especially in the summer when the sun is high and bright in the sky, they feel a lethargy come upon them. And a lot of them like to, go in their safe place in their coffin and sleep. Because like when we sleep, you close your eyes, a minute or two later, it is morning. It almost seems like magic. It is not just you just pass the time real quick for yourself. But if you were to find any vampire sleeping, that is when you would stake them. Be careful though of elder vampires. If they've been around 50, 100 years, they usually have skills. Some have picked up sword fighting, axe fighting. Some have picked up perhaps magical abilities, throwing a few spells. The older, more powerful they are, they have more tricks available to them. Not because they're a vampire, just because they've been around so long.
Safe to assume that the knowledge they had in life translates well.
Yes, anything they have when they died and become a vampire, they retain. There have been even a few rumors, unsubstantiated of course, that Spawn maintains some of their skills from their former life.
That would make sense. It sounds like they're simply bound their will. It's given their free will, I'd imagine they could probably utilize any skills they possessed.
Well, Spawns have free will to a point. They just cannot go against their master's wishes. If the master says, go do this, the Spawn is forced to do that. Now, how they exactly do it may be up for debate, and how they can, navigate around that if they try.
Malicious compliance, perhaps?
Exactly. If you've ever heard of a high ranking spell they call Geas, it's very, very similar. They have to perform the letter of what you tell them, but you don't actually control their exact actions. Now, some vampires can dominate you as well, and that is completely different. They totally overpower you, and you do whatever they want. But that is short length, and they must have eye contact for it. That is how a lot of the older vampires feed.
Do you have something there, Megan?
I was going to ask, do you know of any vampires in the area, or even within the city itself?
No. I would think with the temple of Palor here, there would be none in town. No one dead at all. I believe that's one of their tenets. Bring the burning ever light or whatever mumbo jumbo they say to weed out all undead. Now, down in the underbelly, where the priests of Palor don't go, you never know. That is a maze of tunnels and passages built thousands of years ago.
And with the temple so powerful, could this rumored tier change any level of vampire back?
That is what they say. It is an artifact from their god. It is, from what they say, it is a diamond in the shape of a teardrop, roughly the size of a human's hand. Like it glows, is imbued with the power of their god. On special holidays, it is on display in their temple. No one is allowed near it, but you can see it. About a quarter of a candle left.
Valis, can you think of any other questions we haven't asked?
Not really. You seem to have covered all of my questions and queries.
Valis is thinking, how do I turn into a lich?
Well, I've got a closer. If you have nothing else, anyway.
Nothing important.
Well, I'm sure you might have ascertained that we may be tussling with a fang near future. Nothing too assorted, typical information gathering as you ascertained. But let's say, hypothetically, you knew that you right pissed off a nest of these leeches and you knew that perhaps you were to be hunted. What would you do, personally, to prepare yourself for the inevitability that you need to sleep and they don't? How would you prepare your room or ward yourself against it? Asking for a friend, of course. It's not like we pissed off any
And
vampires.
where are you staying?
Well, that is sort of the trick. We are passing through, stopping.
Just want to make sure I'm not staying anywhere near you.
No.
But if I were you or your friend, there are things you could possibly do. There are various magical wardings you could put up around your rooms, windows, make sure everything is locked. I mean, they cannot just. Depends. If you're talking spawns coming after you, that's a lot easier to deal with than a true vampire. Spawns usually cannot. They are physical. They have to walk. They can't walk through a wall or turn to mist or change shape. They have to physically break into your room. Now, if it's a true vampire, he decides to come out from his sanctuary. Then, without pure magical protection, I'm not sure there's any way you can hide from him. I mean, you can leave and he has to track you down. But if he is a spellcaster type, he may have magic abilities to do that. And if he doesn't, well, he has hundreds of years to find you.
Lines up quite nicely with the lifespan of a gnome. Well, hopefully, from what I get from this, ideally you don't want to leave any sore survivors, as it were.
I would recommend not. They may plead innocence. The spawns may say, it's not my fault. They may have been people you may have once known. But once they are a vampire, they are damned. There is realistically no way to save them. The best thing you would do would be mercy and put them down. And Zakara starts crying.
It
Put them down. You're ugly. Your mama dresses you funny. Not like that?
would be a damned fate to be chained to such a curse.
It is. I mean, usually if that happens, people, might try to kill themselves. They may, leave civilization. Which is why you usually find vampires like in old tombs and such. Feeding off of like animals.
Stack keeps growing larger for Galgrim.
Doesn't like the light. I mean, he says the armor's real heavy. You can't move fast in sunlight. Uh-huh. You're almost out of time. Any last question?
I think I'm good.
The different types of vampires you mentioned, would it be obvious looking at them that they're a different type? Right.
They present themselves more regally, or is there an actual physical difference?
Between what we call the Western normal vampires, you wouldn't probably not tell until they use the power that is only to their type. If one had glowing red eyes and locked eyes with someone and they obeyed them, that would be a domination which the spawns and the lesser ones do not have. And now what we term Eastern vampires, they do not resemble humans at all. They are definitely, you may not know they might be a vampire of sorts, but they don't resemble human at all. But those are very rare and more powerful. And the candle sputters and goes out. Surprisingly, just as Pierre finishes his food. Ah, yes, it seems your time is finished. He takes up his goblet, drinks a last swig or two of wine. Unless you would like to purchase another hour, I think we are done here.
I'll turn to the other two. I think we have all the information we need for now.
Do you really, though?
Possible. You can
But-
never have too much knowledge.
Would we be able to contact you in the future if we had more questions?
But of course.
Is there a way to best get in touch with you?
The easiest way is usually the same way you did this time, through our friend Guillermo. And if there is no other questions, I bid you adieu. He kind of gets up, gathers his things, and leaves.
Then I flip over the menu to take a look at it.
There you go. Do I need to bring it up again for you?
No, I have it here.
Okay.
I do want to try the sliver. The cake, I'm curious about the cake.
I'm
Absinthe cake.
curious, but I'm too much of a cheap ass.
Well, I don't want to get the full
Absinthe and
slice.
cake and honey cake.
I just want the slice. Or not the
The
slice.
slice or the sliver?
The sliver. Basically the taste test. I want a taste test.
Pick up the
Hey,
gold bell and ring it. Think of what you want.
It's a slice for a gnome, though.
I do that. Well, it's more than just, it's more than a sliver for a gnome, but I mean, yeah, I'll pick up the bell and ring it and, hit some, get some
Which one do you pick up? You pick up the gold one?
Yeah, the one he told us to
Okay.
pick up if we wanted to grab
Yep.
something.
Was there another one?
There's 4. There's a silver, a copper, a bronze, and a gold.
Mm.
So do we appear to be alone now?
Yeah. Pierre left, and just the 3 of you in that booth, looking
So-
down upon other people eating and so forth below you. Now that you have a moment to kind of look around, you're not worried about being on the clock. I think we're alone now.
Yeah, I'll get a sliver of cake on the way out. A little exit dessert.
Okay. Raz picks up the gold bell. He thinks a sliver of impossible cake, rings the bell. No noise.
Mm.
So we may have a bit of an issue.
Oh my
You
god,
mean
guys.
more than the vampires?
You mean the
Yes.
cake?
Apparently, Glizik's companion can take control of him at will and can force him to do things he does not wish to do.
Oh, we're talking about Blizzard. Oh,
Yes.
Are you saying
I noticed an odd quirk when he was going in for his little test thing. Accent change. For a second, I thought he had perhaps versed it or was practicing it for the big day to make himself sound a bit more human-friendly, sophisticated, perhaps. But I'd never heard him use it before, and I know a thing or two about practicing accents. It's well practiced. Either he does it in his off time, or, if what you say is true, it wasn't him. The mannerisms were quite different. He also didn't like it when I pointed it out, or seemed discomforted by it.
he did sound different when he was drunk that night?
It was very similar, a little less slurring.
Not to interrupt you, but Zakara and Balat, you guys ordering anything?
Nah.
Okay.
I do
Close
want to
I'm
see what the
broke.
impossible cake looks like, though.
I did close the menu. How much was this? The sliver?
5 gold.
5 gold.
And now
Yeah.
you see why I'm not
Hang on,
liking
bring that
anything.
menu back up.
The slice is
Or-
25.
I thought it was a sliver, or the sliver was less. Bring that menu back
It
up.
is.
Let me see.
The slice is
It is.
25. The sliver
I know.
is-
Bring the menu back up. I thought I saw something that was even cheaper. All right, I would like to rescind that.
You already ordered it.
I take back the
You
order. I
rescind it now?
retcon that. I thought it was 5 silver for a sliver, and I'm like, man, that's got to be like the thinnest slice of cake ever. But
Do you see why I didn't
Nah.
order anything?
no, I didn't got the gold for that right now. I already paid. Oh shit! Did this not update? I should have only 10 gold after my fine close. Update. Okay, there we go.
You have to leave the box. Take the cursor out.
ID. Okay. Tis updated now. I only have 10 gold left in my name. Well, 11, but
Okay.
yeah, I thought it was 5 silver. If it's 5 gold,
Nope.
fuck that shit.
But it's nice cake.
I look fancier than I am actually worth right now. All of my value is not in coin right now.
But it's nice cake.
I'm sure it is for 5 gold for a sliver.
You bring
Find out how nice the cake is later.
I thought the sliver was going to be so thin that you could like see through it, but
The
It might be.
cake chip.
it's already 1/5 of a slice.
anyway, the other two can order if they want. If not, we can keep talking shit about Glizzik, right?
Until they kick us out.
If we're not actually ordering. How much is bread? That's free. We'll split an order.
My favorite price.
It was
Aw.
curious, yes. I feel like there was something going on there, and it wouldn't surprise me. The Newell seems to be the one that seems to have much control in that relationship. It's a bit more intelligence to that one's eyes than, say, the Nathir was a simple familiar, whereas Nanul is something else.
I do wonder what it is, and if there's a way to tame it,
Tame it.
It's not a shrew.
for lack of a better word.
Look, I didn't pick those gnome perks that let me, interact with like animals and shit.
Bad.
A snow badger. Well,
Do you
you brought it up, Alice. Do you think there is something serious to consider?
It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Well, unless my understanding of his relationship is incorrect, it's Nanul that seems to supply the bulk of the magic that Glizzik's capable of using, yes?
Appears to be that way.
Who's to say he doesn't possess some sort of domination magic?
Now, let me understand here, just so I know what's being discussed. Valis, are you telling him that you think Nanol can control Glizzik, or are you telling him what Glizzik told you about someone else?
I'm telling them Nanul can take control of Glizzik.
Okay, that's what I thought you were saying. I just wanted to make sure everyone's on the same page.
But
nobody's
not
told any-
revealing the entire thing because
Yeah.
I don't want them to murk him immediately.
Yeah, nobody's revealed anything. Zakar hasn't told us about her boyfriend or brother or friend or whatever he is.
Boyfriend,
And-
that's a Kruger. He reads your poetry.
I thought we were in Alabama. It was just one person there.
I mean, this is a different time, man. Polygamy exists.
Yeah, well, it does in the modern day too. It's one of the China.
Yeah. It used to be what dating was all about.
Hey, what consenting adults do in their own home is their own business, man.
If they want to read erotic poetry to each other while having
While
a
they're
vampire visitor
drunk,
at night,
yeah, exactly, whatever.
that's on them, man. As long as they don't knock over my beakers and shit.
Beep, 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 beep.
Listen, you don't want that kind of fiery hot passion. This one will leave burns, bad burns, not
Okay,
good
Ginger
burns.
Boy. So
Excellent.
continue your discussion about Nanol's abilities.
Now that's basically what I got. Is if Nanul can, then he probably does. From time to time, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, honestly, from my interactions with him, Nanul seems to be a little bit more subtle when it comes to delicate situations in his own unique way. I think he has a better understanding than he lets on.
if Nanul is the more powerful one, and possibly the one in control, should we try to find out what he wants, what his goals are?
Gold.
More than 3.
I paid him 3 gold. I want that gold back at this point, but right now he's about as rich as I am. Do we even really care what their relationship is? They seem happy with each other, despite the bickering. I think that's a common goblin trait, however. Has he done anything that has been directly harmful to us? I mean, other than the fireballs he's launched at us from time to time.
Well,
Hey.
I do that too, Matt.
Yeah, and I appreciate
Don't ever
those, by
admit
the
that.
way.
Blame it on the goblin.
There's only 2 people in this group who launch off big ass fireballs, and multiples came
No.
from that fucking room.
Galgrim can.
Galgrim can too.
Yeah, Galgrim was in the room.
So we both lit that motherfucker up.
I understand the circumstances, and I could definitely take a blow to the jaw, as it were, but, yeah, that's smarts.
It's something we may want to keep an eye on.
Well, bring us back to our topic of why we're here. We do have a, nest full of vampire. At least some got away. We did learn some useful information here.
We did. Do you remember my friend I was looking for?
The
Well,
one you saw in the vision that Pearl gave you.
yes, the one that I thought might still be alive.
Indeed. Have you been looking into that? I've kind of been cooped up the last few days. Well, minus 1 day, but I was about.
So have I.
Well, I found him, or he found me.
So your vision had not come true yet then?
It actually had. It appears that he is now a spawn.
Well, isn't that just poetically? Well, he found you then, eh? I assume, since you're still here and not looking worse for wear, that he at least didn't attack you?
No, although he might have wanted to, just out of hunger.
So, he found you, but didn't want to. I almost said eat you, but I think that's the wrong terminology for a vampire. Feed on you.
Giggity.
Get your mind out of the
Stuff you.
gutter, horn dog.
Never.
He didn't feed on you, so he wanted to talk then.
Yes, and besides the obvious changes, he did still seem like himself.
Yeah, at least that pairs up with what we found out here. The same person, just with a unfortunate condition. That makes more sense why you inquired about how to fix that condition, too. Well, what did he want then?
Well, I think ultimately he would like to be turned back, but short of that, he would like to not be under the will of his master, sire.
So perhaps he's hoping you can kill his vampire daddy.
He did give me a name to look into. Uh, Balthamel. Is that what it was, Argon?
I think so.
Is now.
Got a mouthful of fizzing whizby at the moment.
Excuse me.
That's a curious act of. Hmm. I find it odd that he was able to give you his master's name, knowing full well you may be able to kill him. I would figure that would go against their spawn code or whatever they have, that they can't harm their masters.
Yeah. I wish I knew how it worked better. It's not like he would have been expecting me to come back.
I can, you can find out how it works. Just get bit some more.
Just keep nibbling until we get positive results.
Change our Pathfinder game to a vampire game.
Did he know he could find you? Was this after our tussle in that lair?
It was.
You think maybe he's there to probe these interlopers? Find out why exactly we were there? Find information on us, perhaps?
If he was, he didn't ask about it.
Not to besmirch your relationship with this individual, but I'm not sure I could really trust him as far as I could throw him in his current state.
That's a fair point, although I would appreciate if no one kills him if we meet up with them, or at least avoid as much as you can.
I can understand not wishing to kill someone you care about, though I'm not sure many would. I will say, if he finds himself embedded in someone's neck, I don't feel that they may share that sympathy with you.
That's fair. If he's attacking you. He if he doesn't attack and we find him among others, I would like to keep him out of it.
Well, our contact here, he told us so he can be turned back, yes? Our remove curse incantation, if he had not fed yet. Do you know if he had or hadn't? You said he looked fairly hungry when he met you.
He has.
Well, that option is out then, according to the expert. Well, we know of a potential secondary in this oddly religious artifact held by a certain church that we are not particularly well endowed with. Though I'd imagine that would be a difficult uh, thing to appropriate. Also, it may be simply easier to kill the beast's master. Or the thing, whatever they prefer to call themselves.
Well, I'd like to, on the off chance that this head vampire doesn't know about Ferris's relationship with me, or that he's in contact with us, and he couldn't be ordered to attack us if the master was dead.
So, what do you propose your next action is? To look into this master that you were given the name of, perhaps? Hoping that there's a name that perhaps shows up somewhere?
It's the only lead we have at the moment, unless someone else knows about who's running the vampire ring.
I admit we don't know much. Didn't even know there were some leeches in the city until we found ourselves beset by them. I can't imagine that they have anything but some large, intricate web down there in in the underbelly. I admit it doesn't seem like an easy task to free your friend there.
No, it doesn't, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, we did find good information here. We don't have to kill him if it can be avoided. We just have to kill the one who brought him into that state. At the very least, then, he would be able to feed with a much more control, I would imagine. I would hope. At least until something more permanent can be discovered, and at our leisure.
True.
Well, what a delightful conversation. There's some things to bring back, some developments, and apparently you are being visited by a friend who hopefully will not continue, or hopefully contain himself from feeding on you himself. Do you think he'll return?
I think so. But I don't know when.
Well, if you would like, I can leave one of these with you. Hold up one of the ghost charges. So if he gets a bit unconsensually frisky, this might give him pause. Near as I could tell, it worked quite well on them.
Don't think I'll need it, but suppose it's better to be prepared.
Yeah, in case he finds his mind a little bit too hungry to think straight. Perhaps a nice shock of something that seems to be particularly effective against his kind might snap him out of it. This is, to my understanding, positive energy that does not play well with his nature. One of the few things that could actually endanger him. If only temporarily.
Holy water.
There's probably some of that mixed in there. The ghost charge says it's a lot of stuff. Rock salts, bit of holy water, probably whatever the hell else.
Rock salt. This isn't supernatural.
And yet it's everywhere. Like that's even just in the flavor text. There's salt in there.
It's just flask random shit.
Kinda. Just a bunch of freaking old wives' tales remedies, and one of these has got to work.
Just stand still while I try them all.
I mean, they're all in one container that just kind of like throws it out in all directions. It is a grenade.
It doesn't damage them because of the wives' tale. Just damage them because it just gets random shit all over them.
I mean, it doesn't hurt us as long as we don't take positive energy as damage.
Wow. It seems to burn Galgrim. Interesting.
So you can even detonate this point blank, and it's not going to hurt you. Unless for some reason you take positive energy as damage, but that's your problem at that point.
It's a cat deficiency.
Even then, that's just the splash damage. It's not like it's anything bad.
Thank you. I'll keep it with me.
It'll be good
until tomorrow.
It'll be good until morning. She knows how my stuff works. Save all the gold of having to buy it myself, but it's only good for a day.
All right. If you three are finished with your discussions, you get up and leave the Mask and Moon. And head back to the Silver Lion. And that is the end of day 4. Welcome to day 5. First thing we're going to handle on day 5 is kind of skip to the end of day 5 for a moment for Raz for his engineering check, reverse engineering check of the blood crystals. All right, Raz, make that alchemy roll.
You heard him make it. So, new day, new hero point, right?
Nope.
Tried, man.
Let's see. This is crafting, and I have a +1 to alchemy-related crafts.
From your eyeglasses, if you.
Yeah. I mean, I got them on. I got nothing else to put on.
Did you take specialty crafting yet or not?
It comes with alchemist. In fact, you need it to even make alchemy stuff.
I'm just asking if that would give you +1 also.
Nope. It just lets you make it. And then I get an item bonus of +1, either from the goggles or... No, I didn't get the fancy lab because the goggles did what the fancy lab did. So add a +1 and roll that craft. Oh, I thought that was about to be like a, what was that, a 7?
Well, my friend, I'm going to skip you for a minute.
That's okay. You could say I failed.
And go to Zakara. Mid-morning on day 5, Zakara, when everyone has left, you're kind of just hanging around the inn. You know, you've done some shopping, some wandering. You're not really sure what to do today. And a small boy, teenage boy comes in, a little courier. Comes in, looks around, sees you, walks over to you, and delivers a message.
Who am I delivering this to? The literal only cat lady in this whole city.
Cat lady.
Not to be confused with the cat girl. Big
Cat
difference.
woman.
Alright, he says, Mother will see you now. He turns around, he waits, then he holds his hand out.
Chop it off, chop it off, chop it off.
With what? She doesn't have any weapons.
Who's got teeth?
I have daggers.
Yes, cause.
He's waiting for a tip. If you're gonna give him one, if not, he'll leave.
Yeah, I'll. How much do you normally tip couriers?
Probably a copper for something like this.
Yeah, I'll give him 2 coppers.
Woohoo, he's rich! Taking the rest of the day off. He's going drinking. Go ahead and mark 2 coppers off.
Is he like 6?
No, he's like 12. And I am you the decoding of that message. Then I'll go back to Raz. So when he gives a car something to think about. Alright, Raz, 36. Oh, that's not very good.
I know. I could have
You
been so much
die.
better.
Could have been better. What the hell? Could have been 13 points better. Alright. Unfortunately, a critical success means nothing on this.
Boo.
You really, really learned it.
That was just a placebo. The magic was inside you all along.
Alright, mark off one of those blood crystal vials.
Is it actually a vial or more like a little rock candy? I always pictured it as like
It's a
rock
vial of like small little crystals, kind of like a little bit larger cocaine that you would snort.
like like pop rocks.
Yep.
Except not quite that big.
You don't know you haven't. Yeah. Well, you don't know you haven't. You haven't taken
like
any yet.
You're probably not snorting pop rocks. My God.
No, it's kind of like cocaine, but it's not like a powder. It's more like a crystal. Real tiny little crystal meth.
Get a sore throat from that shit.
I can't wait to put this in chocolate.
All right.
All right.
Marked off.
So Raz, you now have a choice. Same choice as the others had. You have succeeded. If you wish, you can spend 5 gold and add the formula to your book right now. Or you can spend more time and lower that price.
This is a tough call.
It's not going to be that much money, though, if he lowers it, right? It's going to be days to lower it.
Yeah, it's per day of working on it.
Yeah, and it's not a lot. I just also don't have a lot of money, but I still would like to do something with whatever downtime might be. You know what? I'll spend the money. It's an investment.
All right, mark off the 5 gold.
If I get Valis addicted to something in life and he turns himself into a lich or something, would he still be addicted to it?
That's the problem.
I'm not sure if Valis can. I don't think Valis can turn himself into a lich in real life.
What about a vampire? Could he have 2 addictions? Blood and blood crystals?
Well, he has set the food up somebody who's all high on the blood
Freaking Vampire the Masquerade this up.
pressure.
Want to
I'm a
get
high
drunk?
fire.
a vampire to do when they want to get drunk, but they can't drink alcohol? Drink the blood of a drunk.
Try give you the right thing. Yep, there it is. That's the right one. All right, Raz. After 4 days of working, you now have this formula. It is slightly different than formulas you're used to.
Kill one goblin, drain its blood.
Sorry, goblins aren't on the list.
You know, I kind of had a feeling it would be some sort of weird thing like this because it would seem really strong to be able to make it for free every day.
You cannot. Yep.
What constitutes a magical creature in this group?
There's 2 examples in that description.
What about a like really magical human?
You can try.
Hey, Raz, why do you have that needle?
Don't worry about it.
Raz?
It's not a needle. It's a meat axe.
You trust your doctor, right?
No mission.
No.
Galgrim can be a magical animal.
Interesting. I mean,
All right. So while you're pondering your newly found illegal items, back to you, Zakara. Do you understand your message?
I think I do. I think I have to go back to the brown jug. Is that what
Correct.
it was?
Yep. And meet Rovo.
Yep, I will go visit her today.
Are you going by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Shortly after you get the message, you head out and head down to the Sea Ward to the brown jug. I'm going to have to add that somewhere down there. I don't think I have. I'll make a note.
You can expose your brown jugs later.
Only for you, baby. And I expect gold. I've been to Disney the last month, dude. There's lots of lots of flesh.
I will give you this gold-plated copper piece, sir.
And there was some flesh I wish I could unsee.
That's not even June yet. Just wait.
I know. All right, Zakar, it takes you a little bit to get down there and find the little dive bar again. You go in, take a quick look around. Looks like almost pretty much the same exact people that were here last time. And you see Rovo sitting over the table by herself, sipping on a mug of something.
All right, I will go over and join her.
Okay, it's a small table designed for 2. She's on one chair, and there's one chair open. You go over and have a seat. As you sit down, she kind of like glances up at you. Doesn't mean like raising her head all the way, just kind of glancing her eyes up at you. And then, no, I won't say quite a whisper, but in a lower voice. Let me cough 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, in a lowered voice. Light.
The information you requested was not easy to get. If it ever got traced back to us providing it, it would make some of our business more difficult. You will owe us a heist in the future when we call upon you. Is this acceptable?
Yes.
All right. She kind of takes a long pull of her drink, sets it down, gets up, starts to walk away slowly. I shouldn't say slowly, but stealthily pulls like a scroll out from her like coat, drops it like in your lap as she walks away.
All right, I will stealthily tuck it away and not read it here.
Roll that to thievery. No, I think it's stealth for palming an object.
I have a thing for palming an object. How big is it?
I mean it's a scroll, so it's like the size of a piece of paper rolled up. Actually, no, probably more like a folded up paper, like a letter.
Okay. I do have experienced smuggler.
What's that do for you?
You often smuggle things past the authorities when the GM rolls your stealth check to see if a passive observer notices a small item you have concealed. The GM uses a number rolled or 10, whichever is higher, as a result of your die, adding it to your stealth modifier to determine your stealth check result.
Gotcha. Oh, so I'm supposed to roll these stealth modifiers?
Oh, well, I mean, it's a secret check, so I just roll in the tower.
Yeah, go ahead.
And if you're a master in stealth, which I think I am now.
You are yes.
Yeah.
You are yes.
So if I'm a master in stealth, the GM uses the number rolled or 15.
Oh wow. So the lowest you could roll on a stealth roll for that would be, 15 plus your base. Damn.
To smuggle things, at least. Or to
Yeah,
keep people from noticing.
seeing it, yeah. To palm objects. Wow, that's a high number minimum. All right, go ahead and roll it in the tower. Oh, sorry, you rolled higher than a 15. Dang, huh? All right, you kind of palm it, slip it into your clothes, and what? You said you were getting up and leaving?
Yep.
Okay. Where are you headed?
I think. Well, I will start heading back in the direction of the inn and just trying to make sure I'm not being followed.
Roll me a perception. Okay. Doesn't seem to be anyone following you.
Okay.
From across town, you all hear, in the direction of the chapter house, Eureka! As Raz figures out how to make blood crystals.
Yeah.
Now he just needs to find some components. It's
That's
not just money
loud.
for that one.
Hmm.
You
Well,
said you
practical,
wanted. You
right?
said you wanted to experiment, right?
Where's the dwarf?
He's off training.
He is actually probably the closest thing we've got here, unless Newell qualifies. I don't know if he's got blood though.
You know, Nathier doesn't really have blood.
No.
They leak ectoplasm.
Creepily asks Nanool if he has blood.
He spits it at you. All right, Zakara, you make your way back to the Silver Lion Inn.
And I'll just go up to my room and then take out the letter to read it.
You could always ask. Noel. See what he says. There you go, Zakara.
I'm sure
Somehow-
it's totally safe.
Somehow I get the feeling that he just doesn't have what's required, just by his very nature.
He's not a normal familiar, though. He's not like your familiar. You know that much from what Glizik has said.
Yeah, I know, but when he takes damage, he doesn't bleed like a fountain like the goblin does.
Well, no, but that doesn't. You've never really seen him take much damage. He's usually hiding, controlling Glizik. Puppet on strings.
Ratatouilleing up there, just
Mhm.
showing with the hair.
Under the hat.
Why does Glizik's character sheet say Glizik, but it's really all the null stuff on his sheet? Naughty does like to play odd characters.
Mhm.
Let me know if you have any questions there, Zakara.
Zargan, let me know if you need me to write a backstory on Glizik also.
We'll see if he survives.
I don't want to be the next close.
Men in Black, when that little alien's like in that guy's head, well, that's the real Nanul. He's running a goblin suit.
His real name is Edgar.
Exactly. Running around New York in an Edgar suit. Oh, that reminds me. I need to activate another thing on the map. Don't know if you guys still have the map open or not.
Yep.
Some of you do. I'll reshare it so it opens up for everyone.
Moved.
I have mine, like for this, I have mine set as a background.
Me too, but it moved when you reshared it.
Yeah.
I had it zoomed in a section. Moved of its own accord.
In the lower left corner of the map, in the C ward, there's a new pin available. My goal is to fill this entire map with pins so you can't tell them apart.
I see the pin that says C word, and then the other one is just a pin that doesn't say anything when I mouse over it yet. So I'm assuming
It's
you're
the
setting
pin.
It's just a pin. It's a giant pole with a big
I probably
sphere on
haven't
top of
shared it yet.
The one to the west of the word C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a kind of strip club.
Now you should be able to click on
Slave Lord Warehouse. Or,
the
I'm sorry,
what?
Slave Lord Warehouse. So it's a house that turns into
Come
a
on, Nanol. Don't stop letting Glizik talk.
Slave Lord Warehouse.
That reminds me of when we're on vacation. We're driving by the Riviera, and my son goes, "The Slovenia," because he won't wear his freaking glasses, so he can't see shit.
The Slav Lord Warehouse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I said.
So, are you done reading that, Zakara?
Yes, I will read it several times to memorize it, and then I'll burn it.
Alright, when you say you burn it, I'm going to delete it from you, so if you're making notes, you better be making them.
Screenshot.
I screenshotted it.
Okay. Then I'm going to delete it. From you, of course. Cheater.
No,
Do you have eidetic memory?
She's not a cheetah. She looks more like a panther, I thought.
She does. Did you understand your note?
I think so. Is that?
Okay.
I can't remember who Kruger said he was looking for, but I thought the name was different.
It is a different name.
Okay. Yeah.
Kanye, something like that.
The guy Kruger was looking for was the first mate. Russo. The name you have in here is the captain.
Okay.
It's funny that Kruger didn't ever mention the captain's name.
He mentioned it to me.
No, he didn't.
I got his name here somewhere. I know
You
I didn't
probably
get
have
that.
Russo. You probably have Russo written
No,
down.
I got Russo and somebody else.
Son of Russo.
It's not the captain's name, I'll tell you that much.
Well, to be fair,
I do have the captain. I just don't know if you want me to say it out loud.
Go ahead.
Was it Dread Pirate Tom?
That was a different captain.
Tohim. All right, then that's the only pirate or the only captain I knew.
to be fair, Kruger didn't tell me much. That one time was pretty much the most he said about it. And I just know he wants Russo dead.
If only he wasn't drunk in an alley somewhere, he can maybe give more information.
Yeah, Kruger needs to get sober.
Did you ever buy that map, Raz?
No, because it's like 10 gold, and I don't have 10.
That's right. All right.
Not unless someone wants to give me 10 gold, but I mean, Kruger's also
because
not
people are learning locations of names of locations, and you don't have no map to match it to you.
Yeah, I know. I wanted a map, like a map, and then I wanted a big table map, like a war room map.
Oh, that's even more money.
I know. You said it was like 30 fucking gold for a big table map. I was like, what the hell,
Well,
man?
you know,
These
these
maps are so fucking expensive.
Well, you realize these are all made by hand, by illustrators, and they take days to make.
I know.
And that's just the fold up map that's 10 gold.
Just want to let you know, I got like a Fitbit yet today, and my stress has now just risen. Thanks, Zargan.
You are welcome. Maybe Chibi can help you out with that later, or maybe not. Depends on the mood and how you ask. You know. All right. Anything else?
I better find a way to come home for lunch.
Oh, a nooner. There you go.
I work nights. More like a midnight thing.
Oh my.
All right. Anyone have anything else on day 6? I'm sorry, day 5. I believe Glizzik, you're starting to make some potions.
Yep. And all I got was one person said I'd like one in the future, but I don't have money for it now. So I think they're too poor to help me make invisibility potions. And since I still owed 30 gold to Mateo, I can't invest fully in the invisibility potions right now. So I'm just gonna. I believe I already had done oil of potency for what I told you I was gonna do before. So I'm just gonna stick with that and make 6 oil of potencies.
Okay.
Which are, I believe, 7 gold. And I was just looking that up. Oil of potency is normally 7 gold each. So it'd be 21 at the beginning, right? And then 21 at the end if I only do 4 days.
Well, it'd be 3.5 gold each. So yeah, 21 in the middle.
Yep.
That's when you pay. You pay half right then, and because you have to make your skill check to pay.
Right.
Well, if you fail, sometimes you still pay a little bit, and then you decide to pay the whole price or keep working. Although if you with 8 days of downtime, you'll need to pretty much pay the full price or put them on hold.
Yep. That's I have enough money. I should be okay.
And Valis, day 5, you're building your gun, right?
No, I was doing the downtime things because I need to get that part of that done.
Which downtime things?
The finding out the legal status of necromancy, sneaky beaky like.
How do you plan on going about that?
Ask in a non-incriminating way.
Well, asking who? You gotta just pull a guard aside and ask him. You gotta go to the guild. You gotta go to the watchful order. By guild, I mean the assembly.
I should probably ask the assembly.
Okay. Are
Maybe
you going? Oh, go ahead.
maybe the front desk lady. The kind of like a dumb college kid kind of act. Know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. All right. Are you going there by yourself, or are you taking anyone else with you?
Anyone really want to go?
Uh-huh.
If Glizzy wants to come, he can come.
Got my own
Uh-huh.
stuff. To do
I got a badge that shows I belong there.
Or should I say Nindul? Hmm.
Team Master Blaster.
All right. So just Glizzy going with you.
Does anybody else need spells or formulas?
I'm
paper?
probably gonna be swinging by the House of Healing today, so
Okay.
I won't be able to buy anything, but at least I'll be able to meet and greet. So that's pretty much the only reason I'm not joining you today. Is I got something else planned.
Roommates off on a whirlwind adventure.
All right. So this will be day 5, which is the day Raz is finishing his blood crystals.
Yeah.
Zakar finds out her information. Glizzy starts some oils of potency and takes Valis to the guild, to the assembly.
Now you still haven't registered, right, Valis?
Correct.
You should probably do that. Once we find out if it's okay or not.
Yeah. I need to know if I have to lie on this thing or not.
Well, is that why you've been waiting to tell them what you do? Because they ask like what kind of magic you do?
Yeah.
I mean, can you even lie when they ask you?
I don't
I-
know.
I don't know because I told the truth on it because I mean I'm not ashamed of what I do and no people don't I mean witches
I-
not the most favorable but necromancer is probably one of the least
Yeah,
favorable.
that can some places that's arrest or kill on spot.
Torches and pitchforks at least. I mean,
Yeah, but only if you use the bad necromancy,
Bloody peasants.
not the good necromancy. Nobody ever
I mean-
brings that one up.
to be fair, I think you had a good shot with a lot of those Highlander guys that were doing the zombie stuff. They seem to not really frown on it at least.
All right. Valis and his goblin lover go to the assembly. You guys go in. What was that lady's name?
Elaine,
What was it? No, that was the lady you had your interview with. The front
Right.
desk lady.
I didn't write it down. I'm sorry. It wasn't important enough. The librarian type one, yeah.
Librarian lady.
Yeah.
I feel like a Matilda maybe or an Agnes.
Definitely
Maris, I
Agnes.
think.
Maris.
It wasn't Agnes.
A Maris?
I wrote it down, but I'm like, what? That doesn't look right. I try to remember how to pronounce it, but it's Maris. She is there at the front desk, as she was the other day when you came, Glizzy, both times, and you, Raz, although you're not there now. She looks and sees you two coming up. She sees Valis coming, and then, the goblin steps off from behind you. Ah, Mr. Toad Nibbler. And looks up at Valis. And who are you?
Valis.
Valis, I see. And what can we do for you today?
You say it just like that.
Hey,
I'm assuming.
Toots, how's it hanging? Comes from under the hat. Hey, Toots, how's it hanging? And I slowly raised the hat enough to show it into a waving at her, like lying sideways on my head.
Smiling with 3 gold coins in his mouth.
I said, my familiar.
He's using the gold coins teeth.
Valis is a friend of mine that had some questions for you, and I was hoping that you could, answer them for him. If that's
It would depend on what the questions are, but sure.
I kind of take a step back and motion for him to go forward.
Grab his ass and he jumps forward.
I'm assuming you want to whisper. The ability is called Goblin Scuttle. Does that work on ships too?
We're gonna find out later.
She adjusts her glasses like a good librarian and looks up at you, Valis.
So,
You doing anything Friday night?
Oh God, no. So, what are the different schools of magic that are available here?
Are you a student? Are you here to learn? Are you a practicing wizard?
Prospective student.
Let me pull up my guild information here. Well, here at the Assembly, we mostly teach the 7 basic schools. And she reads them off. Necromancy is not one that she lists.
Said mostly.
Did you have interest in one of the other ones, or one of the ones I mentioned?
This college doesn't support your primary. Quick, what's your secondary?
One minor and raised dead.
Are there any forms of magic that I should avoid that's illegal here? Something like that?
Look down upon.
Well, illegal is not necessarily a form of magic, it's what you do with it. If you were to say, take like your friend here, I do believe he is an elementalist, trained in like fire and ice. If he were to throw a fireball and hurt somebody, he would be held legally responsible for that. Or
What?
if he were to kill someone,
But I'm paying you money for that.
they would come and put him in jail.
That's what my membership totally allows me to do, though.
It's not a
No,
buy-off charge.
no, it does not. It does not absolve you of the laws.
Once we're more famous, it will be.
That's what charm spells are for. I mean,
Right?
there is no truly illegal form of magic in the Eastern realms. Now, some are looked down upon more than others, or some people feel some schools are less important and lesser schools. But in reality, they are all equal. Even the off school of necromancy that we do not specialize in here, that is not illegal. We just do not have anyone who teaches it specifically. Does not mean there are not, spells in the library of this variety. We just do not have a master of necromancy to lead a school of that. It is fairly rare to find them.
I sense opportunity, Valis.
You need a few levels first.
Bio.
Need a teacher of the dark arts.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up. Thumbs up.
All right, thank you.
Job opening.
But of course.
Highest ranked necromancer they have on staff.
That they know of, maybe.
It's in small lettering. I never said I was any good.
Hey, heal is a necromancy spell. I just want to state that, lady.
Didn't stop a certain bad teacher at Hogwarts from applying to a job he didn't have no business applying to.
Who, Quirrell?
To name one very particular individual, yes.
Gilderoy? But he defeated all those monsters in his book.
Perfect
really
example
good.
of charisma specialized wizard.
You mean bard? Yeah.
Sorcerer.
As you guys are walking out,
Wait, we didn't register you yet.
Glizzik's still bopping. You would first of all you do that at a different location.
Okay.
The assembly
Nice.
doesn't register. Valis, Glizzik, you're like bopping around, like you normally do, chatting up a storm about pretty much nothing. And and Valis just stops for a moment. And Valis,
I'll run on for a little bit, then notice that he stopped.
Yep. You hear this whispery voice. Not necessarily like right away. It's not like you hear it. It's in your head, some form of telepathy. Which normally, what you've learned and experimented and learned about it, usually telepathy is crystal clear. You know what I mean? Even languages are avoided. I only speak Draconic. I only speak human. It doesn't matter with a telepathy. But this is like almost like a slight hissing, whispery voice. Come to me. I will train you. Open the doors to power for you.
Orcus?
It was my favorite word.
He just thinks, leave a message at the beep. Beep.
Can I respond at all?
You can try.
I try to mentally respond.
25
What
words.
do you
go.
say?
Where can I find you?
Is that your whole response?
Yeah.
Stop counting, naughty.
Are you pooping?
Not the moment.
Maybe.
I wish the spell would take the next 25 words, whatever you say, whenever you say it. You know what I mean?
To include grunts and sounds.
Technically, it does.
You respond, and then like hours later, you're talking to somebody else, so then it's just a random snippet of conversation.
I will come to you. It will be joyous in our greeting.
Oh, that's not creepy.
That sounds like a proposition.
Giggity.
Remember, if there's a sock on the door, there's a joyous occasion going on. Don't come in your roommate's bedroom.
You should know that, Glizzik. You're the one who used to put the sock on the door.
Yeah.
There was no door. He had to.
Well, actually, you put like
cloth.
you put like a hat because you thought that was a sock, and that's why Valis walked in on you several times.
No, there were no doors there.
That's
had to
the
put the sock
problem.
on Valis's foot.
We had a tent. There's no knob to put it on. Ishi, I'm slowly knitting you a sleeping mask to go along with those earplugs.
And it's gone. And then you hear Glizzik saying, "Hey, what's going on? Why'd you stop?
You coming or what?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Or just breathing heavy?"
Sorry, just stroked out there for a second.
Stupid humans. Head so high.
Humans, that happens with humans.
Blood gets
Wizard
lost.
thing. 4 wizard to stop responding.
Command
A little
failed
bit
to
of-
load.
Arcane feedback.
I knew I should have shielded myself.
Okay, what are you guys doing?
Where
Well,
do you
by
sign
you
up
guys,
for
I mean
the-
Glizzik and Val.
So, I think it's okay to register then, right? From going with what she said, right?
Yep.
You should be in the clear. Let's go do that before they come after you. You know. You're
Yeah,
starting to get
I don't
worried.
want to.
Registration's right around the corner. The Watch for Order is part of the assembly, but they are like separate. So you go over there, Valis. The first question they ask you is your name.
I will give my full name.
Well, what is it? Glizzik's here. He gets to hear it.
I'm just smiling at you ingratiatingly from ear to ear.
Frantically opens up files.
You got this, buddy. Thumbs up. And I actually say the words thumbs up.
It's canon now.
No, you don't have any cannons yet.
Yet.
Soon.
Who the fuck is that?
You have to look it up. Do I have to say huzzah after you say the whole name?
It's 37 words, and it's an Ifrit.
Man,
You have to
who
say
would
his
do
name
that?
exactly.
It's 10,000 letters. Give me a break. Found it. My name is Valis Galen.
Toe Nibbler the Third. Yep. You're related to Glizzik.
No wonders you didn't mind the goblin sex.
And what is your what tradition do you follow?
Necromancy.
Well, that would be a school. It would be more of a what tradition? Is it arcane, occult, primal?
Arcane.
Ah, okay. And you say you specialize in necromancy?
Yes.
I take a step back.
Interesting. I bet you do.
Damn it, Glizzy.
I'm here for you, buddy, but I take a step back.
I don't know who this guy is. Never seen him before in my life.
He does good work. Glizzik shows his ruined skin, blackened, charred corpse.
I was so dead yesterday, this guy brought me back to life. We're good. No, I'm just kidding.
Good goblins follow orders.
And he's not telling me to say this. Nudge, nudge.
And do you gain your power from anything other than the natural magical weave of the universe, such as a patron or other creature?
No.
And what's the highest rank you're capable of casting? Basically, what level spell?
4th.
Okay, they write all this shit down, brief description of you and so forth, and thank you very much for registering. They give you a little sticker. No, they don't.
I voted today.
I want a sticker.
They don't have stickers.
I'll get you a patch later. How's that?
And if you guys knew where the tattoo parlor was, you can get a tattoo, but you haven't found that yet.
Ass tattoo.
All right. So you went to the guild. You asked your questions. You are now registered. All the cashers are now registered, except for Kruga. All right. Anything else for day 5? Basically, Zakar or Valis.
No.
Okay.
Since we're still here, how much would it be for me to buy the spell Fear? I had 3 that I was interested in. Fear's level 1. Goblin Pox is level 1, and Humanoid Form is level 2. I just wanted to see.
A first level spell is 2 gold.
I would like to buy Fear and Goblin Pox if they have.
Well, you have to spend 8 hours. You don't buy it and they don't hand you a scroll with it. You have to sit in the library and copy it.
So I can't do that and do my crafting for the week.
Let me see. What's the timeline? I know it's in here. It's 1 hour per level of the spell.
Oh, so it's an hour for each of those first level spells then.
If they're first level, yes. Or if they're a cantrip, they're an hour.
Okay.
Let
You
the
want
dog out real quick.
Yep.
So I can't bring him in to learn from their library, or just get a piece of paper and then learn it from that.
Basically, what you would do, like for an annul, you have to. Basically, the mechanics are basically you make a roll to see if you successfully understand the spell. Okay. If you make it, then you're able to copy it. You write it down on a scroll, spending money and paper and ink, which is the where the 2 gold is.
Okay.
And then you would feed it to Nanol.
Okay.
And if he likes it, well, then you can add it to your spell list.
Okay.
That's how you learn spells.
Okay. So today I'd like to try and learn Fear. and I'll just work my way through them throughout the next couple days if that'll work. If I can take an hour or
Okay.
two each day.
Yep. So Valis heads back to the inn, and you head into the library. All right. So on day 5, you want to learn fear. You said.
Fear. Yep. Level 1 spell.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make me a spellcasting check. So whatever your skill is for your spellcasting.
Okay, so as my class, it's intelligence, but for the type of spec I am, it's nature, which is less because it's based off my wisdom. The only category that's based off wisdom.
Correct. It's your magic
Yeah.
type. With for maybe nature, but so it's not your intelligence.
Correct. So it's going to be at a plus 11, and here goes.
Should have saved that hero point, huh?
21.
All right, 21 does make against the DC of 15 for a first level spell.
Yep.
So you may spend 2 gold.
Good.
In an hour, and you copy out of one of their books the fear spell.
Okay, took the gold off.
Alrighty. Then once you copy it down and stuff, and you head back to your potion crafting.
Okay. And I will feed it to Nanul like a fruit roll-up.
He whines, complains, and spits parts of it out, but he does eat it, and then use the magical knowledge is there. I made a list. I'll add it to your spell list before next week.
The 3 I mentioned were the ones that I had in the downtime stuff before that I was after. So you should already have it under my Discord thing.
I actually have it in Fantasy Grounds too.
Cool.
Because I copied stuff in.
I am back.
Welcome back. I learned fear.
Fear.
You only had 2. You only had 2 first level ones written down there, sir.
Yeah, fear, goblin pox, and then the second level one was humanoid form.
Oh, so you want to do a second level too? Okay, I thought you said 3 first.
So when 3 out of 4 sources of fright and fail, we've got a 4th to back up on. I don't know what time of day it is. Are they still out doing their thing? Okay. Just a reminder, I do work tonight at like 8, so eventually I'll have to AFK to get ready, and then I'll basically just be audio only at that point.
Okay.
That'll be
Alright.
the same next week as well.
No, that's not acceptable.
I don't know after that because new contracts, some shifts may be getting shifted around, and so yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Worst case.
Do you want to do your rolls so that you can make them?
Huh?
Do you want to go out of turn just so we can do your rolls so you can make them before you leave, though?
No, that's fine. Like I said, I got like a half hour before I even need to really get ready.
Yep. Plus day 5's about over. So. All right. That'll be the end of day 5.
Okay. At the
and
end
welcome
of the day,
to day 6. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna fill in people about the blood crystals and how they work, since I'd have cracked that nut.
Go ahead.
I can't. Just a quick rundown. I can't make it like normal. I can't just make free ones every day. There is a component requirement to it that it requires to work, and that component is I need sufficiently magical creature blood. Like dragons / elves are the 2 examples that I know would work. But basically, I need blood. I need actual blood at the time of creation, and I have to make it yieldy fashion way, if I understand this correctly.
Yep.
If we're fighting something, how long can he carry the blood from that creature with him before it goes bad?
Oh, quite a while.
Okay.
I'm not talking months, but
we're stopping for some downtime, people.
You don't have a bag of colding.
Yeah, the quality of the blood determines the DC of success as well. So honestly, the stronger the blood, the more likely it is to actually make this stuff.
Yep, I gave you 2. I don't want to say extreme examples, but dragons are very powerful, and elves, it may depend on the elf.
They're innately magical creatures.
They are.
Like gnomes. Wait.
There you go. Cut off your own arm.
I assume there's probably some limitation to how much you could take out of someone without actually killing them or causing serious bodily harm.
There's only one way to find out.
I know.
Come here, dwarf.
So yeah, basically, experimentation is probably going to be the key. I'll probably use my own blood at one point because gnomes are magical, but it's probably that down there with Zargon's about elves. So probably
Magically delicious.
probably.
Well, an elven warrior would not be that magical, but maybe an elven wizard might be more magical.
Come here, Valis.
Hey, what?
He's not elven.
Why do you
Good.
have that knife?
Don't worry about it. Just expose your artery.
What?
Stab.
I mean, I'd be willing to donate a little bit to see if mine works.
It's something we can worry about later because I have to craft it the regular crafting method way, which means I got to pay for it.
Gotcha.
And spend time.
It takes 4 days, so
Minimum of 4.
We don't have time, nor at least I don't have money at the moment, so I'm not going to worry too much about it right now. But vampire cows. But yeah, that's basically it. And just whenever we kill something that's got a little bit of innate magic, I'll probably need to steal some blood, have someone harvest it who knows what the hell they're doing.
Aren't
And
you
that's
the
not
medical
drinking it.
person?
Doesn't mean I know how to freaking. I don't know if that shit's under survival instead.
I mean, technically, I can use nature to do medicine, and I have survival, so
Didn't you retrain out of medicine?
I don't have to have medicine trained to be able to use nature as a medicine.
Harvesting stuff from corpses is survival. Just looked it up for you.
Not for me though. It's cooking.
Well, cooking is not the same.
I guess it depends
Lopping
on
off
the
chunks of meat to eat is not the
So,
same as
sounds
harvesting.
like I'm the
What I
one
do.
harvesting the blood.
I mean, if
I
it
think-
takes a medicine check, then I can substitute with crafting. I just don't know.
It is
Zargon
not
literally
medicine.
just said it was survival. Pay attention,
I was
Mystic.
I was talking to Christina. What's your fucking excuse? 82 times in a single session.
Math homework.
Yeti.
That's not an excuse.
All right. Anything else for day 5?
I mean, I could not be at the session tonight.
Going once. Going thrice. Welcome to day 6. All right, day 6. Glizzik's working on potions.
Yep.
Valis, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go sign up to the academy and begin working on the DACA if I can.
You would not finish by end of day 8. It takes a minimum of 3 days.
If we have to go over a day, we can always just do our jobs cheaper for crafting, guys.
I'm not saying you can't go past day 8. I'm just saying that's what the deadline is at the moment.
I would be okay with an extra day. I still need to transfer the potency rune over to my sword once they're done with it.
Me too.
Test.
Yeah, we hear you.
now.
Okay,
I'm fine with an extra day.
Oh, you want to save money?
I could take an extra. I mean, I could probably use an extra day too.
So we're okay with the day 9?
Yeah.
Cool. We got 5 out of 6 votes. I think that's good.
But Kruger's the only vote that matters.
No, only to Kruger.
Just ask.
Dead in a ditch though.
As Peachy would say, you snooze, you lose.
All right, so you're starting to build your gun then, Valis?
Yep. Can't wait to cock that up.
It's a level 0 item, dude. They're not hard to make.
Are you challenging my RNG, sir?
Unless you roll a 1, I don't think you could fail.
Now, just for science, can he strap several of those together and just tape them together to make multiple shots?
No, but there are other. That's the one he invented. So there's other guns.
Like
I
to make
can
organ
my own
guns?
patterns.
I'm just saying, organ guns would be fun.
All right. Raz, what are you doing on day 6?
Let's see. Which one of these things do I want to do first? I know what I want to do. I want to look into finding out how information on potentially lucrative sites to sell to.
So you're not doing any kind of crafting?
Not. I just finished a project, so this is as good a time as any to do something else real quick.
Okay. If it's just RP stuff, that's not really. That's just. I want to get down crafting stuff first, so I can make notes of it. Then we'll go through the daily stuff.
Okay. Yeah. No crafting today.
Okay. And that's everyone for crafting. Galgrim's still training. Zakara's off killing people. And you wonder where Kruger went, huh? Alright, I'm gonna do this now, since it'll make the day go by easier. We won't have to stop people's stuff. Mateo is returning on day 6 with items for people. So break out your purses, bitches. Glizzik, Mateo comes back with something for you. You owe him 30 gold.
Yay. Put that gold in my hand.
No, you put the gold in his hand.
Put that gold in my hand. Sing-songing like as I pay it to him.
Alright.
Done.
He gives you an IP.
Yes. I has a monocle.
Yar. Oh.
Raz! Mateo comes back with a crown for you. You owe him 125 gold.
Well, I believe someone else was going to cover that, and then I would owe them.
He's doing math.
I don't hear anyone saying he's paying.
He said he would before.
That is what he said, but he would probably need to confirm that at this point.
Mystic. No, I think he's dead.
Quit whacking it, Mystic. Quit flapping to the video of Naughty eating chips.
Nom 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 nom. Val's has seen worse.
Wow, I think he might be dead.
He's probably just AFK.
The Yeti ate him.
We can skip for the moment. It's basically, we put the money down, and Galgrim said right in front of him too that he would have to cover it when he got here. So
Yeah.
He said he'd be fine with 125.
And he goes to Valis. You owe him 115 gold, Valis.
How would you guys buy for that expensive?
something that'll keep your ass alive.
Good.
Money we can
I heard you.
I'll pay.
Well, you better, because he's not giving you a refund of the original of the other 115. He hands Valis a book. It's in your inventory now, Valis. Someone went to say something, but I couldn't really hear him. Someone saying something? 'Cause I don't hear anyone talking.
No.
Okay, I saw you laugh, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, did my audio go?
No, I'm just laughing. I was just yelling, nerd, in chat.
AFK second.
Yep. Valis, I have a question for you with your new book. Are you doing the ritual with the book? Basically, if you don't do the ritual, the book isn't as useful.
How long does the ritual take?
1 minute.
Yes, I'll do the ritual.
I mean, basically, it transfers your spells from your spell book into this book for you. Then every day when you memorize from this book, you get the extra bonus of the additional first level spell. I'm going to make that modification to you right now, so I don't forget. So you now have 5 first level spells.
Das ist gut.
It's an extra animate dead. Yeah, that spell could be of any type, just like your regular spell list spell slot. And you marked off the 115 gold, sir.
Yep.
Are you poor yet?
Nope.
Damn.
I'm back.
You need to cough up some money, dwarf.
Oh, for bio?
Short
Or for
time.
Yep.
Galgrim?
Yep. Well, Galgrim needs to pay for Raz 125 gold. Do you have it?
70 plus 50 is what, 120,
20.
and I have 55. So yeah,
All right, mark off all your money.
all of my gold and all of my platinum, and a big fat IOU from Raz.
As he kills you. I mean, and Raz, are you here? I think he stepped AFK too.
Like tagged out.
Scampered back. What's going on?
Galgrim pays your debt, and you have a new crown.
And a new debt.
It is on your character sheet.
It's 1 gold interest a day.
I'll charge
Compounded.
I'll charge that against the amount of gold you drank out of my freaking bags.
Wait, that's free.
Yeah, to me. All right. The crown. Y'all remember freaking? How was the spell Davila used that always got herself ganked? Freaking when she'd split the damage with.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know
it's basically that. 2 action
Spirit
activation,
Link?
something like that.
No.
Once per day, you bond with an ally within 30 feet, creating a bond between the two of you. You cast Shield Other, targeting the ally. The link, which
That's the name of the spell in Pathfinder. Shield up.
And then, I'm trying to click it, but it's not opening.
No, it won't. It can't.
Basically,
Not
you
a
take half the target's damage.
Yeah, basically you take half damage and I take the same amount. And then the link remains even if you move more than 30 feet away. I just have to be that close to start it. At the end of the spell's duration, the person I linked to recovers 48 hit points, and I recover half of what they did.
So when you click down at the bottom on the description, that doesn't open?
It does not, no.
How about now?
There it is. Yeah, it'll end
Okay,
early.
just had a
It'll end early if either target is reduced to 0 hit points. Any damage from the spell is resolved, and then the spell will end.
So when I hit 0, it ends. Okay, got it.
I mean, that's probably going to happen first, since I think I just have more.
But
hit points.
when it ends, there's a little helping hand at the end.
Yeah, see, I was curious about that too. It says at the end of the spell's duration, so I didn't know if that meant if it also ends through getting slapped.
Oh,
down.
probably not. No, if it ends early, you wouldn't get that.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably just something to touch up if it happens to, still be
Survive, yeah.
tacked by the
Yep.
end of it.
If it lasts the entire duration, which I think is a minute. Nope, 10 minutes.
And,
So you can precast it before a fight.
Yep, and then even after the fight, I can touch him up with like battle medicine or whatever, and
Yep.
probably have him go into the next fight.
Yep, the ally gets 48 hit points back,
And
the other person gets half.
there's also a +1 item bonus to diplomacy I already had through the badge, but hey.
Yeah, it's an item bonus, sorry.
Yeah, but hey, that means someone else can also use the badge if we feel like we need some diplomacy helps around the group.
What do you need diplomacy for? You have an orc.
He needs
That
diplomacy.
is one type of diplomacy.
Orcs are good at diplomacy.
And I don't know if you... Yep.
A majestic wooden crown bearing elaborate carvings depicting a tail that I'm not going to freaking rattle off.
TAIL?
No.
TALE.
I'm pulling your chain. Crown with
I-
a
At least
tail.
it's not his.
Are you
At least it's not his tail.
I will definitely be investing that at my earliest convenience because one, it's a freaking fine ass, intricate crown looking thing.
And I'm not sure if everyone heard what Valis got.
I heard
And
something about a
you can-
scroll.
You can go ahead and tell him, Valis.
No, Glozak, I don't have herpes.
If you got it from you, Glizzy.
I thought it was maybe goblin pox.
The
Yeah, it
arcane mouse
happened.
syphilis.
I got some spray. I got the endless grimoire.
The lesser endless grimoire. There's bigger versions.
So what does it do?
It basically lets me have unlimited spells.
No, it doesn't.
Like stored in the the
Yep.
pages. Like there's no page limit.
For a spellbook, yes.
Does it do anything else?
And it also gives me a free level 1 spell.
Ooh.
It also gives you a +1 to learn spells.
Ooh. That'll come in handy when you got to learn that scry spell eventually.
Yep.
Does it like have special protection against being damaged or anything?
It's a magic item.
I imagine it probably comes with the usual magic item, caveats of
Yep.
getting it wet probably won't destroy it. Should I add this item to my sheet, Zargan, or are you going to do that?
I already did.
Oh, neat. Okay, AFK a second, but I can still hear.
Yep. Just so for those casters and other people, I think there's a couple. Secrets of Magic added a bunch of different like magical books called grimoires. They have different abilities. The one Valis has, I think there's 3 different ones, maybe 4. And the more powerful they are, the higher level spell slot that they grant. So right now, this one gives him an extra first level spell slot. So since he's a specialist, he has 1 extra, so that gives him 4 first level spells a day compared to 3 for everyone else. And then this gives him another one, so now he has 5 first level spells a day. Now, first level is not that powerful, but if he gets higher level books, maybe that's a 3rd or like a 5th. And there's a bunch of other grimoires too that do different things. I think there's one for like extra damage for different like evocation spells or something. There's all kinds of stuff. No, you can only have 1 because you have to prepare your spells out of that book. So you'd have to pick which one you like better.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you get? What did you get, Mr. Glizzy?
I got a monocle.
All I got was this crappy monocle.
It lets me burn ants with the power of the sun. It's a magic item. Now it shoots laser beams.
Pew pew.
It gives you
that what
+1 to, it gives you +1 to crafting.
Is that it?
As far as I know. Wait. Did I get some special thing that I wasn't aware of?
Well, it gives you extra stuff when you repair items with it. If you have your eyepiece on and you repair an item, it gets more hit points.
It's a rugged metal eyepiece. Wow.
Well, basically, in case, like you're repairing a higher level shields, they have more hit points. You're taking more actions, and it has a special effect once a day. Did you not know that?
When I repair an item? Is that what you're saying?
No, above that. The activation frequency and effect?
I am not seeing that.
No?
No. Wait, effect. Hold on, let me try it. Nice. Okay. I can use it to cast creation once a day. Takes a minute to do, but 5th level creation spell. I did not even. Is that what you're talking about?
I figured you knew that.
No, I did not aware of that. I was looking at the chart that Fable had sent, and it just said +1
Gotcha.
to crafting. That's it. I didn't say anything about the repair or the.
Well, it's a +1 item bonus, so it may not stack with some of your other shit.
Well, it's an item bonus, so that should work fine with the other stuff that I have so far.
Depends on what their bonus is, but yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, it lets him create a temporary object as per the creation spell, which is a 5th level spell.
Cool. Which I am looking up now.
Open up spells and type in creation.
Yep.
Alrighty. It's 10:30. I'm thinking we might stop here because Bio needs to kind of leave a little early.
Huh?
He can still hear.
Huh?
I just want to get through downtime.
I'm already here for work.
Well, if you guys are extending downtime, we're not making it through 3 more days of downtime. Because we got more things happening.
We can't push
Alright.
through the rest of downtime in half an hour?
I doubt it.
I mean, if everybody else had downtime like mine, and we'd be done already.
Well, that is correct. If everyone just retrained a skill that they didn't pick properly.
I couldn't change it when I picked
I
my
know.
I physically didn't have the choice. I got the option to do the nature thing after that.
Oh, I know. But I do think we'll stop it here. Then next Friday we'll pick it up. We'll do maybe an hour of downtime. We'll probably finish it off. And then we'll see what happens after that. I'll make a note here for day 9. Alrighty. Hopefully Kruger will be back and he can finally pay Mateo his money and get his item.
Poor Best has been trying to deliver that thing for God knows how long.
Exactly. And there's only one more item coming. Well, I have to check the list now that if we're adding an extra day of downtime. I don't know if anything would arrive on day 9 or not, but something does arrive on day 8. Just so you know, Zakara, the first roll for you failed on day 4. Well, sorry. It's just
Okay.
of all the rolls I made, yours was the one that failed.
For the
Pretty
bag
sure
of
I had a
holding.
fail.
Yes.
Pretty sure I had a failed roll before a hero point expenditure.
Oh, I'm talking for my rolls. And just so you know, you did not. That was a success.
Well, I wanted to make sure.
Oh, I understand. But hey, next time you'll have a new hero point to spend on. Oh, that's right, you're not crafting nothing.
Not right now. I do.
But
Yeah.
Glizzik is.
I do want to find a whatever freaking process goes into like selling people information on possible shit. Like,
Yep.
hey, I know where you can find some freaking gold.
That'll be some rolls and a couple dice rolls and then an RP bit.
Maybe a little modest finder's fee, or perhaps even a cut of the profits in the future.
That's all negotiable.
Yeah. Kruger's gonna need a passive income for his army, you know.
That's not my problem, you know. He'll just have to have a smaller army.
He does have a smaller army now.
He doesn't have any army now. They all died.
Acceptable losses.
I've got a note right on my coins here to say that I owe Galgrim 125 gold.
I think that's silver.
It's definitely gold. I'm not gonna freaking jip them just because everyone else would try to.
No, I'm just saying you have an issue with gold GP and SP apparently.
I just wait for him to forget.
But it's impossible cake. You could have had some impossible cake, dude.
Nah, I'd be broke. I'd be broke as fuck if I went through with that. I'd have 0 gold, 9 silver.
So
No, I'd have 1 gold
and
total value coins.
Impossible for you to pay for it.
Yep.
Ha.
Might have to spend whatever downtime's left after looking into this little tidbit here, just doing
Working.
some good old-fashioned work.
If you make your roll, you'll make roughly 2.5 gold a day.
High rolling.
Well, you're only level 7.
Yep. I mean, I'll take it at this point. I mean, 2.5 gold a day is not even bad, too. Like, if you were just actually just trying to make a fucking living.
At level 20, well, it's 2.5 because, well, it's 2.5 for all the skill levels. But at level 20, if you're legendary in the skill you're using, and you make the roll, you make 200 gold for 1 day's work. 300 if you crit.
It's one of those fancy, like, freaking federal gigs that pay way too much for something.
Well, it's just whatever. I mean, it doesn't get too much into it, but yeah.
You've got skills, and some people are looking for skilled people.
Yep, some jobs are easy to find. Now, if you're level 20 and you want to go work on the docks, there's not going to be a level 20 dock job. Sorry, I determine the level of the task, which determines the DC. You determine what skill you want to use.
I have 5 invested items.
You're allowed 10.
Yeah, might have to start keeping an eye on that. I mean, a couple of them don't really do anything when we're out adventuring, so I could easily swap them out. Although the Aeon Stone does let me cast light once a day.
No, it doesn't.
It does when it's freaking embedded in my chest.
Correct, but by itself, it doesn't let you do anything.
Well, it's embedded in my chest.
I know. In your chest anus is, I believe, what the term was.
Chanus.
So you asking that I should learn light as a cantrip to cast it on your stone chest every day?
I can cast it on my own stone.
Don't tell him that. He thinks he can do it on his own. Just don't tell him you're doing it.
I think I only have 1 invested magic item. Well, 2 if the bag of holding.
Do you have that many?
Buy more stuff from Mateo.
I have 4 magic items.
Not everything has to be invested, though.
I believe it has to have the invested trait.
I have 4 magic items, but one's the bag of holding, one's the Shapespeed mask, which I'm pretty sure that one's invested. And then I have a wand and a feather token.
Oh, and my megaphone that I got earlier, I can cast charm once a day with that.
Yeah, it has to have the invested trait. So some of those items you guys got today may not be invested. I thought it was a magical trait, but no, it has to have the invested trait, like the Shapespeak mask. But the bag of holding does not.
Yeah, I just checked. So I only have 1 invested item.
Well, I think the wand. No, the wand, you don't invest it, but it's only once a day anyways.
Yeah. But it doesn't count against my 10 invested.
Correct. Why do you have like 50 items in your inventory that's blank, Mystic?
Down at the bottom? I don't know. They just
Spamming the ad key.
it does that.
You know you can hit up top where it says edit list, and it'll put a little negative sign or a little red circle next to them. You can delete them.
I honestly just thought they were there for blank things to add to later.
No.
They've been there literally since day 1.
Maybe the last... No, they haven't. No, they haven't, because I've been in there before. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the last patch or something did something funky with you.
Do you like my
Hard to say.
IOU?
So eventually,
Yeah, that's cool.
if I ever need to get rid of the crafter's eyepiece, I can always give to someone else who also crafts in our group
Who doesn't have an eyepiece?
who does not have an eyepiece yet. It is invested, though. It's the only thing I have. The megaphone is not. The instrument.
Oh, there you go.
Didn't have to be. It's a bonus.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Valus's book is invested or not.
My staff doesn't have to be invested either, apparently. It doesn't have it under traits. It just has...
No, staffs, rods, wands, scrolls, and stuff, those are special items, because you don't use it so much.
Okay. You'd figure that you'd have to be, like, attuned to it, essentially.
You have to charge it every day.
But you can only
But
charge
it
one
doesn't...
staff, if I remember right.
Correct. So if you have 3 staffs, you pick one for that day, and you put your attunement into it, kind of, and then you get as many charges as your highest spell rank.
The staff du jour.
Well, you can design your own staff. There's rules for that in Secrets of Magic as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want like a staff of evocation, but not to some of the shit spells that it has in there, you can design your own. You have to be able to craft magic items, so that's only valid for right now.
Right, but you also have to be able to cast whatever spells you're putting into it too.
No, you don't.
In order to add the spell for it, I thought you had.
Someone has to, but you do not.
Oh, okay.
So you could have like a Galgan come in and cast, Burning Hands into it if you want that, because you don't have it. You could have Valas cast Magic Missile in it if you don't have it. Someone has to cast it, but it doesn't have to be the person who's making it.
But later, when you're using the staff, as long as it's on the spell list of the staff, then you can cast it, even though
Yep.
it's not on your list. Okay.
Yeah, because you spend charges. Now, once you get up to like a Staff of Power and shit like that, those have a little bit different rules, I believe. I haven't even looked at those. They're like level 18, 19 and stuff.
Gonna be a bit.
A little. But theoretically, you can make one of those. Although you can't make a Staff of Power exactly like it out of the book unless you have the magical crafting skill. Which I guess you have to make a staff anyway, so. And those formulas you have access to, Glizzik, those are for magic items, not like potions, potions are there, but not like alchemy shit.
Right.
Okay, just making sure.
So, but I mean, like, I really probably can only make the potion ones anyway, but possibly
Correct.
for patterns in the future, or that I could get that and then,
Well, if Valis
there
joins, like
too.
he says he's going to join, he'll be able to do some of that stuff. Now, they don't have as many formulas as they do spells, so magic item formulas are a little more rare. But expect you guys to stay in town to I shouldn't say stay in town, but be basing yourselves directly out of town for probably 5 levels maybe to 12 or 13. And then we'll see what happens there. I have a couple adventures planned that...
Speaking of, we're going to have to figure out how that works for me. Not losing my druid shit.
Yeah, it's okay. No one cares if you lose your druid stuff, right? Aren't you becoming an elementalist anyways?
It's just changing my spell list. It doesn't change my fucking druid abilities.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure how that's gonna work. I need to do some poking other more experienced people and see what they say how that works.
Yeah, because I mean, like, it's either because in theory, if you're playing it like hard and fast to the rule, I have to like leave town randomly and then come back and check in randomly because we don't have a way to communicate and see if we're going to do something, and if we're not, then I have to leave again, and then to happen to swing back by again would be the only way that I could do that, which makes it inefficient and would be a whole mess. And
well, I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah.
As long as it's not as long as it's not too much of a pain in the ass, and that as long as we know what it is.
I feel like as long as I'm doing a good job of not kind of being nomadic and kind of not just like becoming a piece of this community, if that makes sense.
Right.
Kind of background character, move around from place to place in, even if it's still in the same town or whatever, and not really like making ties and, not joining the guild, not, hooking up with the barkeeper or the barkeep.
Sleeping with the shape change dragon.
Abducting children.
Well, no, he'll still do that.
That's
not gonna create
farms.
I feel like as long as I don't really do shit like, join the guild and stuff like that, I should be like, in theory, fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of up to you, basically. Where is your line of where are you taking my powers away from me at?
No, I know, and then that's what I mean. I want to talk with some people who have some more experience to see what their opinion is, and then I'll kind of make a final decision, and then I won't let you know until I take away your powers, and then that sounds fair, right?
It sounds totally reasonable.
That's what I thought.
You can always turn into a barbarian.
Thanks for DMing, Krim.
You just turn into a barbarian that doesn't let anybody cast any magic on him. It'll be fine. Bio's got potions.
Oh, I played a game with that. Our one
hard.
friend Sam played a barbarian. He wouldn't let no one cast any arcane spells on him, but I was playing a druid, so he would let me. So I had to go up and pretend to cast a spell on him while the wizard cast stone skin and stuff on him. And then at the end, I'd hit him in the head with a rock, because that's how the magic worked.
Stone skin.
Yep.
Where do you think the stone part of the spell comes from?
He's like, oh, that hurt, but that's how it works? Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
That's hilarious.
That's the game Rick ran. It was me, Sam, Dan played in that. Oh, I forget who else, but yeah, it was fun. We were playing Dragon Mountain, if anyone knows that.
Probably Naughty and nobody else.
I do. If you thought kobolds were helpless, go to Dragon Mountain.
Kobolds are helpless because people don't run them right. All I gotta do is take the gunslinger's gun. Suddenly, these little freaking CR 1/4 little shits become a whole lot more serious.
Well, that's what they would do. That's one of the things they would do. Every time you lay down for a rest and stuff, they'd run in and just steal shit from you. Fucker stole my holy symbol.
I mean, what are you gonna do when there's 30 of them swarming you? You can get
Exactly.
Is this the same game where you fucking started tattooing on your spell book?
No. But it's like, they came up and sold like 3 things off you. I'm like, well, they took this and this. Okay, I can see the 3. I have 1 action. The guy with my holy symbol, I got to get that shit back. I don't have that. I don't have any spells. My axe is gone and, whatever, but...
Chase after them if you want, but kobolds really love their traps.
Oh, you can't chase them in their tunnels because you're too big.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also that fight, I think it was against, in the last campaign, I think it was, goblins that ambushed us? That you,
kobolds recently, too.
That you, kidnapped me, my character, Brunner, and, stole all my gear, and we,
Goblins, yeah, they didn't ambush you. You guys walked, they did, because you guys were walking around with light in their lightness domain.
Somebody kicked off an encounter a little too early.
Well, hey!
What you talking about?
Since he's in just because they're in the darkness doesn't mean people can't see you when you're not stealthing, right?
Let there be light. Daylight spell. Middle of the goblin encounter. Hey, worked out totally fine. We got everybody back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just lost all of my
Didn't even
gear.
make a deal with the bone devil. Totally fine.
No, you didn't. They didn't let you.
As far as I know.
That was a different dungeon, but I was trying to get that deal done. I mean, isn't the Knoll kind of bony? Maybe he's the bone devil.
No, he's literally a mound of snow.
But is he really?
He's a snow devil.
Yep.
I'm a snow goblin. He's my snow.
So you're saying you're made of snow, so you're a simulacrum of Nanol. Got it.
Happy birthday. Frosty, the snow goblin.
Thought it was Happy Thursday, Naughty.
Thursday is what Dr. Grabbleflots like to say. Who is also a slimy kind of creature.
Well, if Glizzik and Zakar will log out, I can close down Fantasy Ground.
Never. Maybe. I'm out.
So I want to try to run something, start something, and run it this summer, but I'm not sure what I want to do.
Do you have time?
This summer I will, after school ends.
Do you have rosemary? Do you have parsley and sage?
You go into the fair?
Scarborough Fair, yes.
I couldn't think of the name of it. Damn it.
But I'm kicking around either a high level campaign, start at 15 and go to 25 or 30.
What are you playing?
Maybe
Expert?
edition.
Expert?
Yeah. It'd be fifth
There's
edition.
there's no rules for 5th edition over 20.
Use multi-class.
You get to 20, and then you can always do epic boons and stuff like that. Is what they normally do. But yeah,
Yeah, and a lot of it you can scale. People have made scaling things for it. So you could probably go on DM's Guild and find a scaling chart for it. So if you wanted to keep the same thing, or you could say, hey, you've got a multi-class. If you want to go over level 20, this is as powerful as you can get with this, but you can learn other skills in other classes.
I like to take a level in dwarf.
And then,
I'm a level 1 elf.
Or I could start Freeport back up again now that our problem children are no longer around.
Why? I'm still here.
Well,
Are tolerable.
you're tolerable compared to some of the others.
Who are you referring to?
Crim and V.
Okay, just making sure. We were thinking of the. Well, that was 2 of them. There's a third
I
on
know
there
you
too.
have a third one you don't
Fuck
like.
you.
It's not you, Ish.
I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
It's nobody in this chat. I know who it is.
No,
And
I'll say it. It's freaking MJ.
Which I think she'll probably be too busy to join in, and honestly, I think Fable and Peter will both be too busy to join in.
Because
Yeah.
And so Freeport basically be this group that's playing this game.
But I have to say, Freeport with 11 people was a bit much.
It was a bit much.
Oh, it was too much.
We all want to play in every game, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit much. But I could reboot Freeport, I could do the epic level campaign, or I could work on putting together a 40k game.
I'm gonna make you sign something saying that you realize I will lure Nazi the fuck out of you.
You know what? You know what my
Do we
answer to
all
that
get to be
is? You
different
know what my answer to
factions?
that is she? It's Warhammer 41. Fuck you.
Don't give Games Workshop ideas; they'll actually do it.
Huh?
Don't
Don't.
give Games Workshop ideas; they'll do it and then charge
I've been seeing
$400 for it.
there's been this dude I've been following on TikTok that like talks about nerdy shit, and he's been like, yeah, Star Trek, like the army from Star Trek or whatever the military is in Star Trek, like Starfleet or whatever, could take on basically anybody, any other universe, and the people were throwing Warhammer 40k people at him. He's like, they would beat this race this way, this race this way, they, et cetera, et cetera. And
Labs an interim coalition of governance.
but the that spiraled into him making his own version, calling it Warhammer 60k, and now he's dropping like lore and making his own world for Warhammer 60k.
That's cool.
Well, I'm gonna head off to bed, guys.
Good night. Thank you.
Later.
Yep. Chat with you later, and we're scheduled to play next Friday.